door. You're always asking for more. No more, no more, no more lying around. No more, no more. What? Come on, too strong, too overbearing for you. Not quite the perfect man. I don't like my hair, can stand the car driving. That's fine, yeah, I really don't mind, but I gave you all of the love I could give. Turn away, spinning all that I am. And it's the same old thing that's always been that you never seen. Well, I see you come and knock at my door. You're always asking for more. No more, no more, no more lying around. No more, no more. I see you come and knock at my door. You're always asking for more. No more, no more, no more lying around. No more, no more, time to rearrange. No more playing games. Gotta get back on the horse again. Couldn't take the blame, didn't like my ways. No one else can feel the same as me. Will they? I believe that we could be the better part of history, but all this time you fucked around. It comes and goes, but never comes. So I don't care why you're coming right back. We run this steam train right off of its tracks, and it's the same old thing that it's always been, that they never seen. I see you come and knock at my door. You're always asking for more. No more, no more, no more lying around. No more, no more, no more lying around. I see you come and knock at my door. You're always asking for more. No more, no more, no more lying around. No more, no more, no more lying around.
We're running on borrowed time and it doesn't make sense no more. It's not you, it's me, plenty of fish in the sea, oh God. But they're cliches for a reason. There's reminders every season, and I wish you weren't the reason that these cliches are being thrown at me. But if you thought for one blunt second that someone would treat you better, then you're no one that sees any value in me. It's okay, Liana, I'm hoping you had yourself fun. 'Cause I'm stuck overthinking it. It's okay, Liana, but I'm up at 1:15. Just stuck overthinking it. So stop overthinking it. Take it on board or take it all back, it doesn't make a difference to me. It's the fact that you're gone and that you're moving on, oh my God. And I wish that you were crying. Cynical, but I'm not lying. So I can stop myself denying myself of all these stupid cliches. If you thought for one blind second it's someone would treat you better, then you're no one that sees any value in me. It's okay, Liana, I'm hoping you had yourself fun. 'Cause I'm stuck overthinking So stop overthinking, to stop overthinking it. If you get any idea of what you mean to me one day, yeah, you better get down on both your knees and pray. So if you thought for one blind second that someone would treat you better, said if you thought for one blind second
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Sensational TV. My name is Chris Munro, and as always, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. He puts the O in O'Reilly. Zach O'Reilly here to my left.
Christopher Munro puts the M in magnificent, I would say myself. And
yes.
have a look at the setup on him at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. He has gone full Wolverine style.
Feeling fresh.
And I'm telling you, we are so excited right now here in the Combox. And he's feeling fresh. I'm feeling fresh. And here we are for a special broadcast. Set, of course, a competition there for ESO and ASA's 12-hour Bathurst qualifying, with the 12-hour happening tomorrow. Wowee, this is a experience and a half. And I cannot wait, Chris. We are definitely excited here in the commentary box tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been excited all day, getting it all set up, trying to learn all the drivers and the new liveries out there. It's certainly a tall order, but I'm sure by the end of tomorrow we're going to be all around it. If you haven't heard, we've got 12 hours of broadcasting coming up tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, starting fresh as well, 7 o'clock in the morning for me, so early start. So I promise not to get too intoxicated on the stream tonight, because we're professionals here at Sensational TV. Can we get a close-up on car 772's livery, says Benjamin there in the chat. I'm sure we can, mate. Absolutely. Once we get back out on track, that is, the server did shut down for just a moment. I'm sure there's briefing going on behind the scenes, but I tell you what, big night of racing ahead. We've got the qualifying tonight at the world famous Bathurst, Zach O'Reilly. It's going to be it's going to be a cracker, I think.
We know what the mountain does to in real life racing, and it does it even more so in the Simland. There is going to be trials and tribulations all over the track here. We have a 60-minute qualifying session coming our way, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, and then the top 10 drivers that finish in that 60-minute session advance to a top 10 shootout, and that is always pressure point motors sort of style. We love watching the guys go ball to the wall, one lap of absolute excitement and tension underneath the helmets and the sim rigs at home of those drivers, and that's what we are on for tonight. It's going to be good.
Absolutely. The drivers are rip-roaring and ready to go as well. This is the newest cab off the rank in the ASA Discord server, which I'm sure we will explain a lot about over the next couple of broadcasts. But it's basically an amalgamation of all the Australian sim and New Zealand sim racing communities coming together and just making it better for sim racing in general. So this is the first endurance race of that series, thanks to the ESO section of that Discord. So there's a bit of prize money up for grabs here, Zach. They're not just playing for pride out there. There's a bit of sheep stations might be worth a bit at the end of the day.
I'll tell you what, there's sheets just flying everywhere, Chris. I reckon half of these blokes after the event will be wiping their bums with those $100 notes, the amount of money that's on the table. They will be literally rolling in it. $1,000 for the winner in the Pro Series. And then I think it's 600, 300, and then so on and so forth for the top five. But then if you're in Pro-Am, yeah, not bad at all. Then Pro-Am winning is worth $150 and second place is $50. So a lot of cash on the line, and with all those drivers in there, that will be something that they're going to have to talk about internally within the teams to divvy up, or maybe just put it all on number 21 at the roulette table when they go out for a Mad Monday celebration, bar the win tomorrow.
Yeah, that could be the go. Just straight to the Kaz. As soon as it opens, which is, I mean, it's 24 hours, I'm pretty sure most Kazas in this day and age. So, yep, straight up to the roulette table. Whatever your car number is, if it's below 36, then pop it all on there and away you go. But tell you what, we're going to get started on tonight's proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sensational TV. I am Chris Munro. That is Zach O'Reilly, and we're about to go racing. It's the world-famous Mount Panorama circuit, ladies and gentlemen. 6.2 kilometres, 23 turns coming at you, the first of which is called Hell Corner, and that will set you up for an absolute beauty run up the hill, and we get our first glimpse of the mountain as we come up Mountain Straight. This is the time to think about your braking markers, think about your turn-in points, think about getting on the throttle as fast as you can into Griffin's Bend. It always has, always will be for me. Thank you very much. Going up the hill to the tricky little section here called the cutting, trying to brake in as straight line as possible, but it's not always possible coming up into that hard left-hander. So up the hill they go. More elevation change through Quarry Corner. Try and keep it off the wall if you can, but from here on out, these GT3 cars have got plenty of downforce, so they will be flat to the floor around Reed Park and Stillman Park. Keep it off the wall if you can, boys, and they'll be McFilming their pants full of the brown stuff if they come off here. I tell you what, going over the crest, down through Skyline, through the S's, this is where you're hanging on for dear life. If you feel like you're in control, you're not going fast enough. Down through the world-famous Dipper. What an absolute sight for sore eyes. Get your screenshots in through the chat on the way through. Down into braking into Forest Elbow, should I say. And then we're off down the hill with a bit of a gravity assist. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Isaac Newton, for that one. As we go down the world-famous Conrod Straight. What an absolute sight there as we go past the little farmhouse on the left, through the kink. What's your kink? Mine is race cars doing 270 k's an hour. Jesus Christ, give me more of that. Into the chase. That's going to be some overtaking madness here come tomorrow. But around the corner now, only a couple to go into the last turn of Murray's Bend. It's an easy one to get wrong, but when you get it right, it feels so good. And that is one lap of the world-famous mountain, Mount Panorama. Panorama qualifying is 60 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Then we go into a top 10 shootout, as Zach said earlier, but they get 2 hot laps. But the catch is, if you bin it, you are out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is tonight's proceedings, tonight's menu, if you will. And that is gearing up to be an absolute cracking stuff. I need to take a drink and a breath.
I think we both need to there, Christopher, especially with that sort of enthusiasm to start the broadcast
Gets
tonight.
me fired up, this place, I tell you what.
I'll tell you what, you need an asthma pupper after that sort of performance. Maybe the lungs are out and Chris is ready to go. I'm excited. We're GT3 cars. We've got Lamborghinis. We've got boats in the Nissan Skyline. We've got the Jags. We've got Ferraris. We've got everything you bloody want here on the stadium. That is Mount Panorama tonight. I'm getting bloody pumped here. And when you say that, Chris, 60 minutes of qualifying, that's a plenty of time to get yourself into a rhythm. But
yeah,
that rhythm and everything else goes out the window once you get to a top 10 shootout because, 2 laps, but the pressure is just immense. It doesn't matter if you're in real life or you're in the sim world, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to the grand scheme of things, pressure is internally, and you will feel it. Doesn't matter what you are doing. So we are going to see mistakes. We're going to see crashes. We're going to see impeding cars here in the 60 minutes for hot laps, and it's balls to the wall for the next hour and 45 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, tell you what, ladies, they say it's 70% physical, 80% mental in the sim racing world. So do the sums. That's plenty of percentages there. But it looks like we are in the server, ladies and gentlemen, and ready to go. So let's just click over to there. We're still in free practice. We've got about 13 minutes, so we're going to get organised there. See if we can do something here, Zach O'Reilly.
Look out. We look at it in terms of this. This is a bird's eye view, first person view. If you want to sit on the bumper of a GT3 car, not any better place to do it right now. And as you can see here, it looks like the Bathurst 12-hour will be a point of knot for a lot of drivers. It's the men from the boys stuff, and it's going to be very, very interesting for that qualifying shootout here for tonight. I'm excited. We've got a Bentley rounding into Hell Corner. and just making its way up the racetrack. There are going to be some awesome sounding cars here tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to listen to them as well as they go around. Different engine notes. We've got V10s, we've got V8s, you name it. We've got it there. Turbos, non-turbos, whatever you want. Sometimes it's going to be that or nothing. And the liveries, wowee, these guys have put in so much effort into the livery side of things. We've got some impressive looking GT3 cars here tonight, Christopher.
Oh, we do, absolutely. I've just made a mistake. There we go. We've got some absolutely cracking liveries for sure. We're going to explore all of those throughout the broadcast as well. And we're looking at, I think that's the 512 of, let me go through my little spotter's guide. Thank you to Steve Rees, the Red Rebel Racing. So keep an eye on those guys for sure. There are, look at them all lined up there in the pit lane. It's busy down there, Zacko.
Busier than a one-armed bricklayer in Baghdad, Christopher. And they will be ready to get out. No unsafe entries here worrying the drivers. This is sim racing, and we are on like Donkey Kong here tonight. It's good to see we've got some chat members that are regulars there for us. We've got Mr. Ninja, we've got the motorbike himself, BZR 5150 there, and some newcomers. Welcome to Jen, welcome to Ethan, welcome to Simflight Australia. Also Mr. Isaac as well. He says no Porsche, rest in peace. Well, you know what? There are cars that suit the Bathurst circuit, and GT3 cars are one of them, and the Porsche might not be the one to go with this time around. So pick your poison, in other words, and go for gold. That's all you need to do. Good evening to Mr. Risky Pierce himself there as well, and Gearhead. Good to see you all, and glad to have everyone here for company tonight on the channel here at Sensational TV.
Yeah, it's going to be a good cracking load of kit, let's say that, thanks to all the viewers so far. I'm having a little bit of a trouble with the timing tower, so if my good friend and co-commentator can keep chatting to the masses while I get this sorted out, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll talk the mortar off a brick wall if you want me to.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of things that we can talk about in sim racing, but the announcement that we have just heard as well for Assetto Corsa Evo come out later in 2024 as a fully ready to go rig. It's going to be a bloody good thing, but don't take that away from Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's been a popular worldwide sim racing platform, and these guys who race here for Australia and New Zealand are the best in the business. There's no question about it. Why would you go anywhere else? You have to be in it to win it, and with $1,000 on the line, wow, where else do you find it? You only find it here. And I reckon that when it comes to commentators, Christopher, you get no better than here at Sensational TV. You get no. Don't worry about those over 55s around the corner or whatever that broadcast there for them. We are the elite, and this is what you're going to get. 12 hours tomorrow, and we are on for a dead set ripper.
It's an endurance race, not only for the racers, but for us here behind the microphone. So I'm looking forward to finding out where my limit is. If my voice can hold up for 12 hours, we'll be all right. But what's going to happen is we're going to get a few special guests in through during the day as well. A lot of the co-drivers, when they're not in the car, are welcome to jump in for the stream for a little chat and hopefully a little bit of commentary assisting as well. We've got our very own Larko down there in the pit lane as well. Lindsay Larko, we'll get to meet him tomorrow as well. Very knowledgeable young lad. So looking forward to that, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh yeah, we got the puddle of mud himself, Lindsay Larko, just sitting there, and his last name's Muddle, so that's why I've got nicknames. And there will be nicknames, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. For this stream, they will come as we get further into the broadcast. I'll keep thinking about them. I'll keep you entertained. Poor old Mr. Ninja is just sitting there for his uni assignment, and he's going to be watching for the rest of it. So keep an eye out for those nicknames, mate, and keep a tally. Please don't make myself repeat any of them at all. Chris, when it comes to GT3 racing and competition, I reckon you and myself could still give these gentlemen a run for their money, barring an absolute disaster here. You've got the quick commentators, and you've got the best voices in sim racing land right here on Sensational TV.
I've got the dulcet tones, but I certainly still don't have this bloody timing tower sorted out. So hopefully once they all hit the track, I reckon that's when it might kick into action. So I'm just going to hide it for now. And if not, we'll get back to the plain one. But I think this could be briefing time, ladies and gents. They are all, as you can see, just parked in the pit lane. If I had the way of, let me see, maybe I can get down into the pit lane, check out a few of these liveries as well. 423, that's a cracker. Who's that? Pit Viper Epsilon. There we go, of Brimblecombe, Payno and Sykes. That is mate, that's a beautiful looking livery. Great,
It is an awesome one, isn't it?
Colour scheme there as well.
Holy mackerel.
Control C, Control V, says Risky Pierce, mate. Keep your keyboard commands to yourself. Thank you, Champo.
Yeah, don't worry about him. We've got 75 there, mixed Apex Racing. Looking as a Ferrari, beautiful looking split livery there too. And then further up the grid, I cannot tell what number that car is, but also purple is a favourite colour of mine on a race car. And boy, oh boy, is that giving me a bit of a tickle downstairs, that's for sure. But we've got plenty more to go. Don't you worry about that. Then we've got, how many old cars we got? We've got about 30-something cars.
35, I think, on the track, and each car with at least 3 drivers in the hot seat. So, plenty of drivers out there in the back of the garage as well. Thank you, Isaac, there for a $10 donation, mate. What an absolute legend! Thank you very much. He says, "Thanks, legends, for stepping up and doing the commentary for the weekend, mate. It is our pleasure." We do this for fun, and a few little tips don't go astray, that's for sure. But we're looking forward to it. Absolutely, it's a step in sort of out of our comfort zone as well in the GT3 world. We don't know too much about these cars. Well, I mean, we know enough, but I tell you what, I haven't driven a GT car in about 3 years, I reckon, in Simland.
Oh, well, I can go one better there, Christopher, and say I've actually driven one. I've driven an Audi R8 LMS.
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
And
Nice.
Phillip Island was very lucky enough to get a drive in that. And boy, wowie, that was some sort of experience itself. And I can give you a bit more information about the GT3 cars as we go along, ladies and gentlemen. And with my co-commentator, Chris Munro. Looks like qualifying is about to get underway, Christopher.
Yeah.
The drivers have just bounced their way onto the tarmac, ready to go. Oh, this is going to be bloody good.
Here we go, and timing tower still not working, but here we go. We have clicked over to qualifying. The session start. We're going to see the absolute charge of the Light Brigade. That is the car. It's a Lightning McQueen as the first one out. Who's that one? I still don't know, but I did see it getting around in practice, and Ka-ching, absolutely fanging for that guy, for that car. Jeez, I've lost me words already, Zacko, right?
Already.
Yep.
Off to a cracking start. Here we are at Simsational TV. As we're a bit of banter in the commentary box for all of you who are just new to the channel. It does not go astray here, so it is nothing but fun between myself and my co-commentator if we pick on each other. But look at all these cars swerving, just warming those tyres up as we do a progression lap around Bathurst for the first time here for all of our cars on track. And the rules are 1 driver per team per qualifying. So they have all nominated within themselves who is going to be driving that car for the session, and that is it. So it's going to be interesting. The rest are allowed to come in and spectate and have a good look and see what's doing and give some setup tips, have maybe sip some coffee, some wine, some whatever, and get those magical brain juices flowing for setup tips. But it is a solo qualifying session here per car. And wowee, is it going to be a trials and tribulations event here as we're right on board here? I think we're on a Mercedes-Benz at the moment of Michael Pickford's, just circulating down through the S's into the dipper, making our way back down the last section of the mountain here at Bathurst. And wowee, this is going to be quick down here. Some suckage is going to happen tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. There will be slipstreams of a straw and a ray. Keep your eyes peeled and ears peeled for after 6:30 here in YouTube land. The commentary just gets a little bit better as it goes on. Don't you worry about that. We will put in some more innuendos as well. But these cars are looking smick on. We've got white tyre weaving. We are getting ready and pumped up as the first lot of cars around here at Bathurst circulate to start their first flying lap of commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Commentary of racing.
We're fast as anything here as well. So who's out there on their flying lap currently? I think it's Mia Rose, the first one out of the gates for pit Viper Alpha in the 420. Blaze it, everyone at home. Look at that livery. That is right out there. Is that leopard skin? That might be right up your alley, Zach O'Reilly.
Warwick Kappas, mate. Warwick Kappas.
Oh, look, he was... do you remember me? He was the biggest thing on the footy field in the 80s. Gearhead, thank you for the donation as well, mate. $3. You are an absolute legend. He's excited about quali. Not as excited as my co-commentator. I'll give you the tip.
Well, that's what we live and breathe here at Simstation TV. Absolute dead set races at heart, that's for sure. And look at Mr. Rose or Matty Rose coming down the field. I'll tell you what, Warwick Kappa at the moment for Pit Viper Racing. Probably will be giving him a call and saying, I reckon got a lawsuit coming your way, mate. I'm the only one who trademarks the leopard skin, and here you guys are running it on the track. Not good enough. But will this lap be good enough here to put a banker down at the start? I'm not too sure, but we will find out in just about 2.5 seconds time. What is the first lap of the night? It is absolutely nothing because the timing tower is not doing what it should be.
That was an out lap, I'm pretty sure.
We can't. Well, I thought they did a procession lap
who
already.
knows?
I thought she already got around once. But don't you worry about that. Timing towers or nothing. These guys are going for hammer and tong, Christopher.
Yes, they are. That is an absolute cracking livery as well. Thank you for the tip, Janjamin. Pressing I on the keyboard. Got that full timing tower up because the ACC TV Pro wasn't giving me what I wanted. Thank you very much. I'll be asking for a refund over there. But in the meantime, let's ride on board with Mia Rose. Where can I get a decent camera angle here? I think it might be this one. No, this one. All right, let's get the front. Heading across the start-finish line is Steve Rees. So we're gonna fly on board with Steve-O for a lap. Look at that. Hindy has gone across the line in a 1:59.8. There's no messing around.
Bang.
They're already sub 2 minutes here. There's still 55 minutes to go. Jesus, settle down, people out there. Gee whiz.
Turn it up. That's incredible time. Under 2 minutes already. What are we going to see by the end of qualifying with 55 minutes left, Christopher, as you said? Wowee. We've got some locals in here too that we know Mr. Delaney is circulating around in 28th place for number 27, Lamborghini. The Sparko livery there, looking very nice. He is a regular around all of that. But I think Pit Viper Livery's lawyers won't be in contact with us, so I don't think you'll even get to us. No one knows where we live, no one knows our real names, we are all aliases, but we all know where Warwick Kappa is. He's everywhere. So don't you worry about that, Benjamin, in the chat.
Yeah, you can't hold a good man down, that's for sure. But Brady Adderton, in the meantime, has gone sub 1:59.8 by about 4 tenths as well. A 1:59.4. Will we see a 1:58 here? That is absolutely flying around this track. Can you imagine that? I think the real life track record is in the 59s, and that was on that unbloody restricted thing as well. That was off its tits, that bloody Mercedes. But I'll tell you what, these guys have got it hooked up today. Mia Rose joins them in the 1:59s with 1:59.6. There's actually 4 drivers now in the 59s. Adderton, Rose, Hind and Reese. So, gee whiz, there's some hot pace out there, Zach.
Wow, look at that. And they're not even separated by a second between first to the 10th at the moment, realistically. So the timing's over nearly 6 kilometres of racing. And they're already just circulating around doing sub 1 minutes, 1:59. Like, incredible stuff.
Yeah.
The rest of the field too, don't you worry about that. Even tighter between 10th to 18th. There's not even a second between them either. So what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, there's wow. I tell you what, the screws are slowly getting turned here by the top 10, and there's probably a few people out there just still trying to get a banker lap in. There's a fair bit of traffic out there, mind you. 35 cars out on track. It is a long circuit, but still, oh, geez, you see that McLaren just scraping the wall there for Laundry House. And Paul Britt behind the wheel just pulls it up there in an unopportune spot there for whoever that was coming up behind. Just had to get off the racing line there momentarily as they get that McLaren. They're going to have to take that back to the garage, give it a little bit of a service. Maybe buff out a few of those scratches on the side there. Thank you, Edward, for the sub as well. Zach, this is gee whiz. 53 minutes more than that. I saw someone complaining in the chat about a 60-minute quali. But geez, give me every minute of it so far. It's been fantastic.
We're at Bathurst, viewers. Come on, give us some credit here. This is one of the most exciting tracks on the calendar of any class in the world. Everyone wants to race here around the world. They call it the Nordschleife of Australia, and that is for good reason. Thank you very much, Team Abby, for subscribing too, by the way. That is a very, very nice effort from yourself. And that is exactly what we bring here. We bring excitement. And the mountain is definitely not short of that. Who cares about 60 minutes of qualifying? Give me 2 hours. Give me 120 minutes of qualifying. That is full race pace, Chris. And there's low fuel, balls to the wall, full soft tyre compounds, and just go at it your hardest. Like, where else do you want to be?
Yeah, look at that. Connor Hind has improved as well in the time being at 59.3. Less than a tenth off is Adderton as well. Only 85 there. Mia Rose sitting there pretty in third, with the cook, the chef, up there in fifth. I don't think that's the same cook that we commentate on regularly. But joining the kitchen,
B-grade chef.
Yeah, we're in the kitchen now, ladies and gentlemen, and he's turning up the heat. Jay Koza there as well, up only 0.3 off the pace. Kumar as well, not far off.
We know who that is. We know who that is. But only half a second between first to eighth, ladies and gentlemen. Close already here. 51 minutes, 28 left in the session. How close can they get at the end? Are we going to be talking tenths? Are we going to be talking hundreds? Are we going to be talking thousands of a second? Like absolutely bees members sort of stuff here by the end of it.
Yeah, absolute thousands. I've got a feeling there's going to be in between these top 5. I'm tipping here at the moment. We haven't seen. I do recognise a few of these drivers back when I did dabble in the ACC. Mia Rose is one of them. Steve Rees, obviously very quick behind the wheel. Who else do I recognise? Pickford. He used to race at AK Racing. Michael Pickford, if it is the same one I'm thinking of. But I'm sure we'll get through these guys. Greg Brock joining the fray, joining the top 23 as well, down there in the number one, self-proclaimed number one in the Datsun. 2 and a bit seconds off the pace so far. Tom Maloney, thanks for the sub.
Yeah, very nicely done, Tommy. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. A lot of people are not too familiar with some of the drivers, but some of them are. And don't worry, we'll find out where the cream rises. And there's only one way to get there, and it's to the top. And we'll find that at the moment. Mr. Rotatori there is flying at the moment in a Ferrari. That is a very cool looking livery, if you don't mind. I love it. That is chrome green. On that car. That's pretty damn cool. Christopher Munro, my co-commentator, is definitely a Kermit fan. And he used to dabble in the Muppets back in the day and had a crush on Miss Piggy as a kid, and that's where he's got it all from.
Still does.
But he still does, obviously. Yeah, he hasn't grown up whatsoever. But that's where we sit here in the commentary box. Cracking driving from everyone, and we're just seeing, I reckon now, Chris, 10 minutes into the session, I think we're just finding a bit of a settling period in the grand scheme of things for the drivers. They will now have found their rhythm, their mind, their hand, and their feet rhythm, and find out where those braking markers are each time they go around, and just putting that in the bank of the brain to hopefully the cerebral cortex remembers it every time they go around to get quicker and quicker. Yeah,
well, I'd imagine all these guys in the top 10 have probably done more laps around Bathurst than I've had hot dinners. So I think it all comes down to muscle memory. And I remember seeing someone in the driver info saying they can do a lap of Bathurst blindfolded. So that is... I'd like to see it, ladies and gentlemen. So whoever that was, I will find you in the meantime, at least tomorrow when we've got a little bit more time on our hands. I'll find out who that is and I'll get into contact with you. I want to see this done, at least on video, if not in real life. A blindfolded lap of Bathurst is something to behold, ladies and gentlemen. And something else to behold is Jamie Koza has made his way up into the top 3 in the Ferrari. So he's climbing his way, and in the chat they reckon he's pretty good as well. Koza is a weapon, says Shane W. So I reckon he might be the one to look out for. Jamie Koza there in the 555. But there goes Paul Britt for Laundry House Racing. Up into second position by, only a whisker as well. Wow. 57 hundredths off the Connor Hind at the moment.
Yeah, and very, very close. Very, very close indeed when it comes to those top 3 drivers. Can't pick it. That is literally a throttle feather or a brake marker point about 1 metre later or earlier. There's that over the top of the mountain. That is all the difference it is. It looks like a lot of numbers on the screen there, ladies and gentlemen, but just remember, a blink of an eye is 1.5 tenths of a second. So that is half a blink between our top 3 at the moment here on the pace. It's very good to see, and also good to see a bit of banter in the chat there. We've got excuses coming out already from Ispip as well. We've got Ethan Kale just giving a not good enough out there. It's all happening here, and it's just incredible to see. We've already got friends and No Love Lost here in the commentary box and out in YouTube land.
Yeah, I'm all for it. The more bunter, the better. Yeah. Have you seen that video? The bloke's like, I'm the king of bunter. Sick, innit? And he's clearly not the king of banter. But sorry to my microphone and all those viewers out there who are using headphones. I got way too close to the mic then. A little bit carried away early in the evening. There's plenty of time for that tomorrow, don't you worry. Keeping an eye on the timing tower, though. Mr. Adderton has just jumped Mr. Hind by 5 thousandths. So we knew it had come to it. Thousandths has been used already, and we've still got 46 minutes to go.
Well, you can't even get there. And you know what's interesting, Chris, as well? Here in the on my screen, I can tell you exactly what each car is doing, what traction control settings they are using, ABS, brake biases as well, and also their engine mappings too, as they circulate around. And it's very, very interesting to see what happens here in the top 3 or 4. They've all sort of got their traction control between that 1 to 4 mark. Which the lesser number, ladies and gentlemen out there, is the slower the number, the less inhibitants it has, the higher the more. And then their ABS, which is that anti-locking braking system, basically between 2 and 3 at maximum. It's very, very good to see. Brake biases, 63. Some people are, I don't know how Mr. Hind is running it at 48.5, but he is doing that in a Mustang. And that is the differences, ladies and gentlemen. These cars are not equal. We have to remember that. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. Front engine drive, mid engine, rear engine drives in the Porsches as well. And then you've also got the horsepower differences, downforce and CFDs. All gives them a bit of different characteristics, wheelbases, you name it. Physics is something you cannot beat, and other times some win and other times don't.
Yeah, that's right. Certain GT3 cars prefer certain tracks as well, just the way as we see Mr. Nash just getting close and personal with the wall there outside of Quarry. But as we said, they're all different. They've got the strengths and weaknesses. I think the BOP is a little bit better than it used to be in this game, because I think the last time I played ACC at Bathurst, there was about 20 Mercs and about 20 Hondas on the grid. So anyone who's familiar with ACC will probably know when the last time I played this game is a few updates ago. But it was just a Merc and Honda party here for a long time.
Well, then the Bentley came into it from memory and just started to kill everyone. After the first update, it was absolute garbage. Second update came through and just whack. And all of a sudden, the big boat just circulated around in pole position.
Yeah,
that car was a ripper.
I love the
personally. I don't blame you. Personally, I drove the GT3 Evo, the Mercedes, and that thing to me, after the BOP was fixed, felt like an absolute bucket of tin foil garbageness. It was a shocker of a car. It understeered when it oversteered. It basically wanted to kill you mid-corner if you were off the throttle. If you're on the throttle, it still wanted to kill you. And that's coming from myself, but wowee. It's interesting to see. A lot of people are saying here in the chat that the Mustang is broken, which means it's an OP car.
Yeah, right.
But some people disagreeing. It's completely fair and balanced. What do you mean?
Wow.
Says Ispip. Wow, it's already happening here. Spicing up in the chat box. Here we go.
Absolutely. Well, look, if it was OP, everyone would be driving the Mustang. But there's also the novelty of it being a new car to the platform. So who wouldn't want to drive a new one after being, I guess just going around in the same cars all the time? When you get a new one added to the fray, the novelty is just too much to deny. We've got who's this coming into the pits here? Darby Murray in the BMW Jeez, he's banging the wall on the entry to the pit. He might have had more cordial, red
Raspberry
cordial,
cordials.
than we have. Thanks, BZ. He's looking out for us in the chat too. Very concerned about how much cordial we've had. Zach O'Reilly. Sean Bubb now he's about 4/10 up on his PB. If the camera will catch up to him, here he is in the Aston Martin, and a nice looking livery as well.
Yeah, very nice looking livery. Bit of diagonal sort of aspect to it. Triangles on the back there, you name it. But a Aston Martin is a cracking looking car on the road and off the road. Don't you worry about that. And definitely doing itself favours here on the circuit. So is that car there, the BMW. Wow, the grills on the BMWs get bigger every year.
They do.
I think by the end of it, we'll just have a grill and then maybe a 80,000 lumen twin set of headlights that are the size of a pea by the time they come around. But also, good to see a lot of all these drivers circulating, getting it on board. And I reckon, Chris, it's time to go on board. Yeah. And let's see how one of the top guys can do a lap around the circuit.
Let's go. It looks like Connor Hines just started a lap, and he is bang on with his personal best. So let's get on board. See how he attacks this circuit.
Yeah, beautiful driving at the moment here. He's on song at the moment. Nothing between him and the leader. Into Quarry Bend. Up the mountain we start to climb, ladies and gentlemen. Slap it into third gear, then we're into fourth. And then we'll slide down the gears into second, just coast into first. Point it in through the cutting there, into Griffin's Mountain. Now we circulate up, just feather that throttle ever so nicely. Just lift a little bit there, but then plant it as you come. Ride that wall on the left-hand side. Absolutely over the grate. Full balls to the wall stuff, full commitment through there. You cannot let off us. You'll be into the wall. They're into McPhillamy here, straight at the top of the mountain, the highest point. Then into the famous skyline. Down we go, shifting through the gears. Keep the car pointed and settled nicely on those ripple strips there. Into the S's. Then we've got the dipper straight through there. Hit the Shannon sign or just maybe whisker off the maybe knock a mirror off. Then we're into Forest Elbow. Hide and lock that car in as close to the left-hand side. Drift it out wide. Bang, onto the mountains, onto Conrad Straight we've got coming down. We're going to hit top speed here and a lot of slipstreaming coming our way. This is where you get to have a little bit of a breather as a driver and just focus on the magnificent talent that you just pursued across the top of the mountain there as you put it on pole. If that is the case here.
He's looking
hard
good.
braking. Coming at the moment. He is on song here at this point in time. Points it beautifully into the chase. Just onto the grass a little bit there. Not too bad, but onto the grass on both sides of the chase exit. And he's still up here on the sector times. What's he going to do as we come into Murray's corner? This could be interesting. Points it in beautifully. Just sensational stuff using all the track and more. And boom, go to the top. That is a 159.297. That is a cracking drive there at the moment. We've still got 40 minutes to go. We're going to get into the 158 surely.
Oh, yeah. I think they're just going to slowly chip away at it, like Michelangelo chipping away at David for however many years he took. I'll tell you what, he probably couldn't have got it done in 39 minutes, but I reckon these drivers can, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Adderton is only 300ths off that time, and Mia Rose only 500ths. Look at that. A 10th covering the top four. Gee whiz, we're competitive over here at ESO, ladies and gentlemen. This is spicing up to be an absolute cracking time battle here as a car just puts it into the wall, gets out of the way of Connor Hind as well. Who else is on a hot lap here? Brady Adderton is up, but he has only just started his lap, so that makes sense. He had a pretty good exit out of Murray's, obviously. But we're going to follow him around in the OP Mustang. We're gonna throw him a little bit of a bone there in the chat. It might be OP, it might be not. These guys just might be skilled there, and a Bentley just parked on the inside, just getting out of the way nicely. The yellow flags are waving though. There might be another car just stopped around the corner here, but no, he's got clear air, maybe a purple Ferrari to deal with, but so far only about a 10th down, if that. So on song with his personal best so far.
Yeah, and he's looking very, very quick. Just throttling himself beautifully there. Just petering on the edge of the throttle. 3/4 we're in now. 2:16, 2:18 Ks as we enter over the great section. Now he's just pulled off. Just pulled off to the side there. Aborting that lap for now. Did not like where he was going, and into the pits he goes. So Mr. Adderton just straight into the pits. Reset, rewind, and get that memory bank sorted. And we'll crack on for another hot lap here. And it's looking very, very nice. I'll tell you what, that Bentley there in the Caltex side, I wouldn't be surprised if Craig Lowndes is just sitting underneath that bonnet and just having a, maybe just pretending to be somewhere, because Caltex is not something you get an easy sponsorship from, and he's doing it very, very well. Here's Mr. Smith.
He's got to have a lean on the side as well. So I tell you what, he's in for a penny there with the Caltex sponsorship. Maybe it is. Maybe you just got to lift the lid, and it's hard to keep Mr. Lowndes away from any sort of racing event here at Bathurst. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's out here performing under an alias of Dylan Smith. Yeah, we know who you are, Lowndesy. You can't fool us. But put it on
Smith.
Yeah, put it on. Yeah, that's such an alias if I've ever heard one. I'm from Dylan Smith from 123 Smith Street in Smithsville, in Tasmania 4163. Anyway, enough of us absolutely crapping on. That is absolutely rubbish. What's going on here? How's the stream out there, ladies and gentlemen? I just want to ask. I've been thrown an error in OBS, so I just want to find out from the hot seat. See how it's looking.
Looking fine to me.
Looking fine. Excellent.
Couldn't fault anything there. Jimmy Park's just come in and given us all the feedback we need. Isaacs, thank you, and also Mr. Motorbike himself, Craig Dale. Now that is definitely Craig Lowndes. That's speaking of the devil.
He's
That's
driving
100%.
And in the chat at the same time.
If he can do that,
multitasking.
yeah, absolutely. Multitasking. We all see what Craig Lowndes does in a V8 supercar. He just puts one hand on the lap halfway down Conrod, just turns it in at 300k an hour, and just starts braking, all one-handed. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is him. But looking good. We even got Nelson. I can't pronounce your last name, Abrahosa. I think it is.
That was pretty nice pronunciation, I'd have to say. That looks pretty good to me.
I hope he's right. Yeah. Looking and watching us all the way from the UK. Thank you for tuning in, my dear friend. Wowee. That's awesome to see. We've got international, Australian, and Anzac compatriots. We've got everyone here, Chris, at Simsational TV.
It's dizzy stuff, folks, out there. We've gone global now at Simsational, so there's no holding us back here anymore. Just keeping one eye on the top of the timing tower. Connor Hines still holding fat there at 159.2. Adderton, Rose, Paul Britt up there for Laundry House. Brandon Webley, a newcomer to the top 5 there in the number 556. That is, let me just check my spotter's guide. That is OES Blue. So he's racing with Vic Chan, actually. You might remember him.
I know Mr. Chan.
Yeah.
I know the hangover villain himself. And he's doing well. And those guys, OES, are running 2 cars. They're running the Ford Mustang and they're running a Ferrari 556, 557. OES Black is the Ferrari of Nash, Turner and Clark. So good to see. We've got a bit of inter-team rivalry on the track come tomorrow, that's for sure. And I'll tell you what, Pit Viper as well, and OES Orange too. They've got 3 of them there. We've got 3 in the Pit Viper section. We've got Alpha, Omega and Epsilon. And then Slipstream International, you name it. We've got a lot of drivers here just having a good crack.
My favourite team name of all, though, if you can probably guess, is where is it? The number 91 Aston of Moreham, King. You can never have too much ham. Oh, mate, give me that. That is Mr. Hammond, King and Whitmore. Congrats, guys, of putting your names together and coming up with a cracking team name. I'll be following you blokes in the race tomorrow.
Don't worry about that. I think Capsize Motorsport is pretty good too.
Capsize?
Hopefully they do not end upside down, sinking through the map somehow or off into the bunda, because then they will definitely live up to their name as well. But yeah, it's going to be good. We've got, I don't know if this is correct, we've got one person driving in a Mustang, number 117, for Pixel Races, and that is Mr. Conboy. And he's just going to do it all himself. He thought, bugger you guys, I don't want to share that $1,000. I'm going to have a good crack and just have a good go myself.
Yeah, he's got to knock the S off the end of that team name. if that's the case. He's the lone pixel racer out there in the 117. And I'll tell you what, if he can do 12 hours behind the wheel, we can do 12 hours behind the microphone. So there's our inspiration for longevity tomorrow. Look, he looks like he's got it hooked up as well. Let's right on board here with the number 117 Ford Mustang, the OP car in the grid, ladies and gentlemen. I expect to see every Ford Mustang at the top of the timing tree by the end of this qualifying session.
Big controversial comments there from Makoko and Tate. I love it. Absolutely. But Lamborghini doing himself proud there, not even a bee's whisker off these two guys in the OP. So maybe Mia Rose, she also joined the chat before. She said it's tighter than expected. So I'll tell you what, you're going to have to get up there, Mia, and get a wriggle on, because that is very, very tight at the top. And you are the third benefactor of the podium at this point in time. Yeah. Looking very, very nice is the Mustang at the moment, though. On track, just settled, pointed in, turns it once, on the throttle, just a hint of oversteer on exit, and bang, settle for another lap here of the mountain.
Easy done. Well, easier said than done, as we say. But here we're going to join Greg Brock, the organiser here of ASA and ESO, the league that is providing us with all this action here, and a well thought out event, well organised as well behind the scenes. It's been a pleasure to be a part of. So let's ride on board with Brocky and give him a cheer on, as he's the lonely Nissan in the field. So I don't know what the OP or what the BOP stats are on the Nissan, but I hope it's somewhat competitive. I'm sure it's probably quick in a straight line, but let's hope it's got enough downforce to cope with the top sections of this track, Zachariah.
Well, they call it the boat.
Yeah.
Up the skyline. So doesn't matter what happens, but I'll tell you what, he's not last at the moment. I reckon Michael Merritt just said last. So you can ship off Michael.
Last, he's gone.
Because if he's gone last there in the chat, that's just too quick.
Yeah.
Too quick in my book. But yep, Team Godzilla. They're definitely going to be going very well. Mr. Austin and Rando as well, sitting in the chair at some point tomorrow, as well as Mr. Brock there too. Full hats off to him, gets this all sorted, and is a very, very smooth operator, Carlos Sainz style, that's for sure. Vocals from the super coach himself there, the Mr. Munro.
You got me going on the smooth operator talk. I'm looking for a car out there on a personal best, and I think I've found one here. Douglas Keane here for the number 12 Positive Delta Racing. He's there in the in the Mustang, believe it or not, on a hot lap. He takes the sort of the tighter line there through the cutting, not even getting out to halfway out to the track there. See, I like the wider. Geez, he almost hit the wall there too. I like the wider line through the cutting. Just let it sail out, cut in as well. Try and V off that corner and launch yourself up the hill. But he is just down on his Delta as well, but not by much. Only by about a tenth so far. And if he can just hook up these last couple of sectors, he's sideways. That's not going to do it. Bang!
In the wall.
Into the wall. That's going to need some repairing indeed. So back to the drawing board for the number 12. We're going to join on board with Glastonbury. We haven't seen him in the number 15 Aston.
No, we haven't seen the man from England himself in Glastonbury, and we're going to see what he can produce. 21st on the grid at this point in time.
BZ, I got him good. So
you got him good, absolutely. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, don't let me commentator curse you're talking either, Zach.
No, well, look, just
interrupting. Sorry, mate.
That's all right, mate. That's fine. No, after you, please.
No, I insist.
Oh, God, bitch off. Tell you what, when it comes to commentary, no love lost in the commentary box. Just one dick swinging into another. Dead set in the founding department. But I reckon Martin Glastonbury 31st, and not too far off getting into the 30s. He's not far off that. So get into your top 30 there, Mr. Glastonbury, and you will be fine, I can guarantee. But not doing that off the road. This is a black stuff only sort of setup in the GT3s.
Yeah, it just needs a couple of tenths there to advance up the order a little bit. What's he sitting on there? 2.5. I'll tell you what, for 31st position to be only 2.8 seconds off the lead just shows you, ladies and gentlemen, how competitive this field really is. Just going to go back to the top. It is all as it was. Mia Rose still sitting in 4th, Paul Britt in 5th. Koza, the weapon, as the chat has described him, is just sitting in the pits there, maybe doing a driver change, perhaps getting, or maybe a glass of water, maybe doing some last-minute setup changes to attack this last 28 minutes of the session. Who haven't we looked at so far? Tim Purcell, maybe the 421. That's one of the Pit Viper cars, the BMW Pit Viper Omega. So that's the one we saw in the pit lane to start with. That's a cracking livery, that.
Yeah, very nice livery. I love it. I absolutely love it. And what a better car to do it in the BMW itself. It looks a cracker. Fortunately, in my opinion, Chris, and the viewers out there, you can be my test, but that is one of the worst sounding BMWs I've ever put out.
Ooh.
That car, it sounds like a fart
Even
in
like the
a trombone.
What about the 1 Series?
No, they've put out the new motor. And it's just nothing compared to the N54, N55 that they used to have, the straight 6. They've gone on the V6 route, and it just doesn't sound as appealing. But if you like crackle and pop tunes, it's the car to go to. It's the new GTI on the block, and every Tom, Dick and Harry just wants one. But we'll see what this guy can produce, sitting just outside the top 10 at the moment in 15, his purse. And doing a nice job. And he's not got long to get in there. Look at that. He's 1.15 seconds off it. But between himself and getting into the top 10, he only has to find 2 and a bit tenths. Like, incredible.
Yeah, it really only comes down to an improvement on your personal best, and you'll find yourself rocketing up the order. To answer KZ Racing 77, where can this league be found? Just in the description box, my man. Underneath the video, you'll find a Discord link for Australian Simsport Alliance. Just click on that and make yourself known in the general chat, and one of the admins will be there to service all your needs. So and plenty of racing there to be done. Mia Rose has done all the liveries for the Pit Viper crew. What a cracking job. You should be charging at least $71 per livery for this sort of work. What do you reckon, Zach?
Mate.
Would you pay 71 or 71.50?
I would pay $71.55 just to one up you.
Yeah,
one up you. And it keeps it in round figures there too, Chris. 5 cents by 100 liveries. That's an extra $5 50 cents in your pocket. I think that's correct. So not too bad. Not too bad. It all adds up.
Yeah, a bit of change. Always welcome there in the old Skyrocket. Excuse me. Let's look down the field though. It looks like everyone's it's sort of in that lull stage of the you get this in races and qualifying sessions. We're in that lull, but here for GC8, is that his name? That's a GC8. Well, there you go. Crosses the line for an improvement. Goes up to 32nd position in the McLaren. What is that? Sorry, I'm all turned around. The 808. Let me try and find where that team is. Geez, you're going to have to take the ball off me. I'm going to pass it to you.
You're looking at 808.
Yeah,
it's a bit VRC Corsa Esports.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my mouse there for a second. So I've got 2 computers running to handle this stream, ladies and gents. So I'm switching between both. I feel like I feel like Brian Eno at a concert. I've got a wall of keyboards and synths in front of me. Anyone that gets that reference, good luck to you. Paul Britt has just started a lap, and it's looking good.
Yeah, looking good. Let's follow him around. Mount Panorama here just navigates T1 very, very nicely up the mountain straight. So Hell Corner is done for him. He's looking on song here at this point in time. Looking very nice is Paul Britt, and he's got to get a wriggle on because that gap is ever so close. Only 1/1000th of a second.
Wow.
Between himself and Mr. Hind. There is absolutely nothing in there. So we're going to see something here, Chris, where everyone gets into that 159 dead sort of zone, and they can't break into the 158s. That's going to be the benchmark, I reckon, for these guys. 23 minutes and 43 seconds left here in qualifying. It's looking bloody fantastic. And just look at it's a pointy end. That's it. We're done. We're over halfway. We're into the last third of the qualifying session, and this is where it really, really heats up. I reckon these guys have got a a banker lap in. They've done their 95% sort of pace style setup, and just to see where it fares, and then they can get their mental into that bracket of going, okay, that's where I need to be, that's where I don't need to be, and that's what my pace would be. And we just saw Britt just go a bit wide there, sort of lose it through the S's into the dipper, so that's going to hurt his lap times coming out. He's got to get that section right and nail that. That definitely looked pretty hairy there in the McLaren, but it's McLaren at the front, the OP Mustangs, as Chris Munro says. Not my claim, that's Christopher Munro himself.
It's not mine either. I'm just parroting what I hear in the chat. So as you were, ladies and gentlemen.
Second and third, respectively, and it's looking like Ferrari are starting to get their pace as well. They've got 3 cars within the top 10 at the moment. Mustangs have got 5. So the battle and the cock-off between the manufacturers is well and truly heating up. It is so close here. I've never seen times this close.
Yeah. Yeah, we get some close times over in the V8 supercars, but I tell you what, this is something else. We've got less than a tenth between the top 3, and you can include the tops. Well, yeah, the top 8, 9, 10. Geez, a second covers the top 14. That is insane. So here is Michael Pitford, JP Racing. That's Jimmy Park, ladies and gentlemen, one of the seasoned veterans down there in one of the leagues that we commentate on, which is AK Racing. He used to race with him in the Enduro V8 season, so he's well versed with Michael Pickford down there in the old Bentley. That looks like that's the older of the Bentleys, is it not? Or maybe I'm just wigging out. Is that the older one?
Not sure what you're doing, Chris. No, that's the current version. They all have to be
20.
As they are. You're probably thinking of the Aston Martin. It looks pretty similar from the rear end.
Yeah, right.
In certain ways, shapes and forms, bar the taillights and the headlights. But we'll give you that credit just for now.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
give
it is
now.
the current one. Yeah, no. You're right. As you were.
That's okay. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you what, Chris, we got to go on board here with Adderton because he is a tenth and a half up on his best time at the moment. He's flying at this point. He's now coming up into the great section and he's just going to fang it in there. 0.17 of a second better through that section of the circuit, and he's holding it fat here. Hugs that inside Pertec corner. Now 2 tenths up. He's just flying here at the moment, making his way through the Skyline section into the S's, down into the dipper. He goes 3 tenths now, even quicker again. I told you this was heating up, Christopher and viewers out there.
Here it comes.
It is absolutely coming right now. 2 tenths he's maintaining. Can he navigate? Oh, geez, he's just got it through Forest Elbow there. 2 tenths up still and just fading a little bit here. Gonna have to get a wriggle on. Make sure this mountain section is perfectly right and done as he comes into the chase for the last time here, I reckon, for himself, just to get that eye in. It is still up. He's going to put himself on top here, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats. Mr. Adderton coming into the final 4 corners here of the mountain. Breaks it beautifully. Gets the car pointed in nicely. No use of the curbage there on the inside. Just flicks it on the outside. Just touches the liquid moly curb, you would call it. 2 tenths up at this point in time. Can he navigate it? He's home. He's just gained another tenth within to the, basically wacko. Straight to the top into the 159 zeros here at Bathurst. What a lap.
Oh, that is going to take some beating, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you what, who is it going to be? Get your predictions in the chat. Is it going to be one of the top 5, or is it going to be a dark horse that's just been circulating around, not getting any sort of clean lap in? I tell you what,
well,
the next one to beat this lap might just get us into the 158. And if we do, I'm going to say it now, we're going to do a shoey live on stream if we get a 158. There we go.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to find something that represents a clean shoe to get that done.
No,
but I'll tell you
the
what, that is
the better.
The dirtier the better. That, however, Chris, has just reacted with everyone in the top 3. Britt and Rees are now back out on the circuit watching that with absolute amazement and probably a little bit disheartened seeing that lap time go. If we can see the skill set just bring itself up to attention Will we see a 158 here between Britt, Rees and Adderton? We'll never know. Rose is still in the pits. Kumar's still in the pits. Kosa is out on track at the moment too in the Ferrari circulating. So these times are going to tumble now. 18 minutes and a bit left here in qualifying. The yellow flag is out on circuit. Not sure where that is. It's green now, so all is clear. And these guys are now putting their banker lap in to get set, well, their out lap, sorry, to get set for a absolute flyer to knock Brady Adderton off the top step.
Yeah, that's what they'll all be trying to do. But I'll tell you what, that's a decent gap from what we've seen so far in the gap department. I'll tell you what, with almost more than a tenth, or that is huge up there in the top 5. Koza was on for a personal best, but he's just sort of teetering on the edge now. He might be on for an improvement, but might not be enough to knock off Mr. Kumar there in 5th. He only needs bloody 13 hundredths of a second. We're going to see what happens when he crosses the line here, gets around Murray's, gets into the power nicely. That car does not go better. So he is in 6th place for the time being, goes back to the pits to rethink the setup. Just it's all about the fine tuning now, as you said, Zach, with 17 minutes to go. The pressure's starting to mount. I reckon there'll be a few sim seats and sim rigs getting a bit of a sweat workout now at the moment, because the pressure is on. As we say in the rule book, really, or in the old terms, a 12-hour race isn't won in qualifying. But I tell you what, in sim racing, it's better to do your overtaking in qualifying. You don't want to be stuck down there in the mid-pack, because anything can happen over the top of the hill. You could get stuck behind a car facing the wrong way. Yep. In the cutting, in the dipper, down in Forest Elbow, there's a lot of spots where you can encounter a car facing the wrong direction. So what you want to do is make all your overtaking done here today, because you've got 16 minutes and 43 seconds to do it.
One person to look out for. We were just watching everyone else circulate. Britt was on to match Adderton's best time there, and he was all on song until it came to Forest Elbow. Lost his 0.2 of a second. Yeah, so right. It would have been another bee's whisker, so we've got to look out for him later on. He's definitely got the pace, and it's good to see. But love everyone here in the chat. If you're loving the stream, if you're loving what you're seeing here on Simsational TV, please give us a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way. And if you think that we are worthy of a tip of whatever dollar you want to amount to as well, feel free to do so. That will help us improve what the visuals will be, improve the experience as we do this for fun here at Simsational TV. But we love racing in general, and we bring the best in the commentary box, that's for sure, for all of our broadcasts. Rain, hail, shine, dark, night, daylight, overcast, dogs barking, people doing dishes in the background. Who cares? We are dedicated here. And I'll tell you what, we have some special guests also that join the commentary box at some stage throughout our calls. Yeah, we've got a few tomorrow who've all expressed their interest. So keep your ears out for those guys jumping in throughout the day. That will take the load off us. But I'm starting to think it's all more of a marathon time. I'm getting my vocal cords warmed up. I want to go for 12 hours dead set non-stop. Since I'm in the director's chair as well, I probably can't leave the PC for too long anyway. The old autopilot function on this system doesn't work that great. But I'll tell you what works great is the Repsol livery on that Nissan GTR. Doesn't that just work? I'll tell you what, the old Honda Repsol combo with a GT3 car, mate, I'm all for that. And the colour combination as well. There are two. This is the second of the Nissans on the entry list. Yep, absolutely. And doing a great job at the moment are those Nissans just circulating around. It's not about winning qualifying, it's about the long game tomorrow. So you can start 15th. We saw that in real life the other day at Bathurst for the V8 supercars. There was some teams that started 15th and ended up 5th. And it's all about endurance and keeping it competitive, but also very, very, very smooth and consistent on the track, that's for sure. And that Repsol just takes me back, Christopher, to the old days of Valentino Rossi.
Oh, keep going. Mick
Pecco
Doohan.
Bagnaia, Mick Doohan. You've got bloody, who was that other bloke who put it up to him? Danny
Marquez.
Pedrosa, Mark Marquez, Pedrosa, Casey Stoner days on the Ducati. Oh, geez, it's all just fantastic to watch. And thank you, Mr. Tonkin, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it. It's awesome.
Yeah, great stuff. Thanks so much for everyone out there joining in on the stream as well. We've got 90 people watching live. That's absolutely solid. Thank you very much at home for all you guys. Let's look up and down the field. Who can we look at that we haven't looked at before? Neil Wood here in the 959. Is that a Ferrari, Zach? It is. Yellow Ferraris you don't see much of. I just want them all to be red.
Jesus.
I don't know what it is. You have a Ferrari, it's got to be red.
Well, red goes faster, as we know. We've been told that.
Yeah, he might be up the order a little bit.
Yeah, look, but he's got a hint of red there, so maybe that's just a colour saturation method there. But he's gone with the red, white, and green for Italy, so he's still representing Italy there in his Ferrari. But don't worry, it's okay. We can see the Ferraris are quick. They are up there in the top 5, top 7, really. There's 3 of them, so it doesn't matter what colour they are here on field. They are still quick at this point in time. Don't you worry. Hindy in front at the moment in that Mustang is about to start his next hot lap. 12 minutes, 30 seconds to go. It is all going to happen. 10 minutes and it's going to fire up. Here we go.
I'll tell you what, is anyone going to knock off Mr. Adderton from the top row there? Mr. Yeah, it is Adderton there. 59 dead. That is so quick. Unbelievable stuff there. It must be a good feeling to just look back and set a hot lap like that. I'll tell you what, takes me back to the V8 supercar days, but those are long behind me. It's all about the commentary here, ladies and gentlemen. A 100th separates second and third. That is Britt up there in second, Connor Hind in fourth, Steve Reese out there in fourth position, Mia Rose in fifth for Pit Viper Alpha. Harsh Kumar there in sixth as well, with Jamie Kosa and Webley up there in the top 8. Jamie Conboy doing it by himself this weekend. That is a tall order indeed. And the chef down there in 10th position, Chris Murphy. I don't think we've seen a bit of him, but we will certainly. Let's go and let's join Will Hammond in the Aston Martin number 91. See if he can finish off this lap well and maybe just creep his way up into the top 10.
Yeah, excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. Making his way down Conrod and looking very, very racy at this point in time. That is a cool looking car. I love the look of the Aston Martins.
Yes.
At this point in time. They are a crack. I would choose that car just because I felt good racing it, because I knew it looked good from the outside, I reckon. It doesn't matter how fast or slow it is, I'd still hop that. But he's going to come into the pits now and just peel off and have another crack at some stage later in qualifying. He's only got 10 minutes and a bit to go. So realistically, only 4 laps of hot lap racing ready to go here for qualifying. At this stage. If you have not qualified or put yourself out of the pit box like the guys in 13th, 12th and 14th, it's time to get a wriggle on, boys. Those top 10 times are going to absolutely tumble, I reckon, and it can't tumble much more, being only half a second between 1st to 10th, but it's still going to be there. And Brady Adderton, is still at the top of the timetable by 0.2 of a second. As Chris said earlier, a massive gap between himself and the next guy on track, and that will take some beating. But there is a top 10 shootout still to come, ladies and gentlemen, that will separate the men from the boys, I can guarantee you. Yeah,
absolutely, and the ladies as well. Don't forget that we do have some females out there as well. So
apologise.
Yeah, so you should. And we've got, as we said, we've got the top 10 shootout coming up. I think it's a best of 2 hot laps.
Yes.
But talking to Brock during the week, said that if you bin it on your first lap, then you do not get the option for a second. So interesting format there for the top 10 shootout. So the night isn't over yet. There are 9 minutes to go in this session, but if you are in the top 10, you'd be, I guess, if you're in the top 5, you could probably pop your feet up now, because I don't know if anyone's going to knock Brady off the top there. A 59 dead is a pretty good lap indeed. At least he's not going to get knocked out of the top 10. But around this area here, Chris Murphy in 11th position, trying to get himself into the top 10. That's, I think, where we should focus. We've got Murphy, we've got Hammond, we've got Pickford, we've got Anaf Noor as well, Arrowsmith. All these guys only need a few tenths to get themselves into the top 10.
Yeah, he's just a little bit down at the moment, is Murphy, though. He's a tenth down on his PB and staying there solidly. So don't worry, he's using every bit of the circuit he can possibly find. There's no doubt within the skill set of these drivers here tonight, it is all about just fine-tuning that setup. And he's just found a little bit of time. He's found a tenth into Skyline there, and now a bit more of a tenth of a second, and just getting his way. This could be on. He's got to find 3, and he's at the wall. He's out. So that is all over. And then Monkey see, Monkey do behind. There's a pile up there behind, down into the dipper. They got off the circuit quick smart, because I reckon another couple of cars would have absolutely dead shit themselves if they saw those two cars piled up there, right on the on that point of knot where your eye line goes. I'm telling you as a racer, when you are coming through that section, you are looking at that left-hand side wall. And if you see cars there, you dead set have an absolute nightmare of a time for your brain to compute what the hell is going on there.
Yeah, you don't want to see that really as you're coming over the hill. But Brad Cook, and we've got down on the graphic there, we've got the sector comparisons there between 12th, which is who we're riding on board with, and Brad Cook, who is occupying the 10th rung on the ladder. As you can see, Cook just has the advantage in the first sector. Sector 2, however, does belong to Will Hammond. He's got him by about... He's by about a tenth as well. That's very small on my screen, probably even smaller than those at home. But the third sector is where Brad Cook has really put the I guess the nails in the coffin there for Will Hammond. He's just got to pick himself up in the third sector, and he can just make his way into the top 10 as well. We'll ride on board with him for the rest of the lap at least, and see if he can make some inroads there to the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely, and see what we can do. And speaking of sector times, Sector 1, Adderton. Sector 2 is Britt. Sector 3 is Kosa himself, 26.54. So they're not too far off, and that is the fastest by nearly half a tenth of a second in the third sector. The first sector is where Adderton made up all his time. That's exactly where it was, because he had a mare for the rest of the lap, but that's okay. He's still going to find more time across the mountain. They all see that and know where they are in the grand scheme of things. The 12 laps has been done by Mr. Brent, and this guy, Mr. Hammond himself, is 13 laps deep into his qualifying, so he has definitely been practicing. Surely that rhythm is ready to set and flow, just using every single millimetre of the track there. Geez, that was close. That was some cool driving to see. Down Conrod Straight, approaching our top speeds of these cars, about 260, 270 k's, depending on how your wings are set. And we've got some banter in the chat about our shadow drama that we had as well.
Unreal.
And you boys can ship off as well with all that comment. It was nothing to do with Munro's setup. It was due to the engine.ini having shadows at 52 by 52 resolution. So that is nothing to do with us. All the hardware, top of the rig, top of the line sort of stuff is there. And what is Mr. Hammond going to do as he crosses the line? Does no better. So he's going to go around one more time. 5.5 minutes left here in qualifying. Ooh, this is now getting to the point here. Gordon Ramsay at the Indian kitchen at the moment will be cooking up the spiciest curry and making these things as hot as we possibly can for the conclusion here of the qualifying 60 minutes of session that we have had. 55 has just been done and won here. What is we going to get for the last 5 minutes here, Chris? It's anyone's bet. Who's going to knock off Brady Adderton?
Hey, well, my prediction is no one. That is just too hot a pace to get done in the last 5 minutes. If they can, that's fantastic stuff to them. But who can knock Chris Murphy out of 10th position? That's what I want to know. Sorry, that's Will Hammond now. The timing tower playing up. I think it was Brad Cook in there in 10th before, but now
he's in 9th.
Yeah, Will Hammond's made his way into the top 10. Apparently, I think someone's dropped out of the server, just doing maybe a driver change for the last 4 minutes. I don't know if I'd advise that. But anyway, the timing tower doing its thing. Michael Pickford is the next man out on track, trying to knock Will Hammond off. He's just coming down into the chase now, I believe, or just heading down Conrod. So we'll follow him around for a little while but it looks like Will Hammond is on for an improvement. He's got about 30 seconds of the lap to go, so we will actually go back to Mr. Hammond and see if he can improve on his lap and get out of the danger zone there in 10th position.
Yeah, he's 1.3 tenths of a second up. So 0.13 of his up. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen at home. He is on at the moment. He will improve if he can get this next section done. He's now lost a tenth there through the chase. So can he make his way into the final turner here and make sure he gets that delta different? He's nailed it.
Yeah.
He's found that extra half a tenth that he needed, and this is going to project him up a little bit further up the field. 0.0915 off the lead. 11th. It's still not enough. With 3 minutes 22 to go, he's going to have to get a wriggle on, and he's just made a mare of Hell Corner. Bit of oversteer on exit there did not help him. But also, thank you, Mr. Goose, for a subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, who's next on the chopping block? Up the top, we're going to get to know the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that. But our focus here on it is who is going to get into the top 10. We've been following Will Hammond around for a little while. Let's go down to Pickford there in the Bentley. Can he improve? He's got 2 tenths, just about, to improve, 1.5, to get into that top 10 shootout. The coveted top 10 shootout here at Bathurst for the starting positions for the 12 hours tomorrow. Holy moly, what an absolute cracking load of kit there for everyone involved. Congratulations to all the admins. It's been a success so far.
Let's turn it up.
Let's turn what up? The game.
Let's turn up the volume.
All
Let's
right.
turn the volume up. Let's ride on board here. Let's listen to that V8. I know we've got 2 minutes 13 to go, but let's go because this will be the final session for all of our drivers, and we'll get our breath back here in the commentary box for the final 30 seconds of qualifying. Wowee. What a lap there, ladies and gentlemen. That is an absolute musical symphony to your ears, I reckon. Nothing better than a howling V8 going its way around Bathurst, and what better place to put it in a Bentley for Pickford. He's got one last chance here to see if he can knock Hammond off that 11th step there, because Murphy's in the pits, so that's it. 6 seconds left here in qualifying. And now we are going to see we've got the top 5 all in the pits. They've just given up.
Yep.
That's it. That's all done and won. Koza has crossed the line in and just basically kept the same lap time to himself. Webley, Comboy, Cook, Murphy, Hammond, Pickford, all basically setting their times or in the pits too. It's all over, done and won here. What are we going to see between 7th to 9th, Chris? Is there going to be an improvement?
Well, Pickford's on. He's purple or green actually in the first sector, so he's a 10th up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just follow him around for the rest of this lap. Can he get himself up into the top 10? He's got 2/10 to make up, or 1.5 tenths to make up. Wowee, he's just there now. He clicks over into the 2-3 tenths, up, down, through the dipper, down the hill now. He's looking for his braking zone into Forest Elbow. Can he get on the brakes nicely into the apex? Does. Get the power down, great too. That is 2/10 down. He might have just got a bit of a weaker exit than he has on his previous times because he's only a 10th up. Here we go, down Conrod Straight for the final time for Michael Pickford, or is it? Will he get 2 more goes at it at the back of this top 10 shootout? He's looking for his braking market down into the chase. He's still a 10th up on his time. He needs to make up just a little bit more to get himself into the top 10 shootout. He does. He's up 2/10, ladies and gentlemen. Can he knock Chris Murphy off? But he's down again out of the chase. It all comes down to Murray's Corner. Got to get down into the 159s if he wants to have a chance. He's got a great chance at it now. He does not make it. That's heartbreak for Michael Pickford. He was on for most of that lap.
He was on. That was cracking into qualifying there, ladies and gentlemen. Great call in there, Christopher Munro.
Thank you.
Well done to every single driver inside that top 10. Half a second, ladies and gentlemen, is it between 1st to 10th. This next session that we're going to see, a 2-lap dash for their top 10, is going to be absolutely on fire. I'll tell you what, I reckon there's going to be some guys who are just looking maybe to get a banker lap in first and then push it for the last one. But how close was that, Chris? Our top 10, as you can see it at this point in time, what a drive from every single one. That was 60 minutes of pure hardcore going at it. And I cannot wait to see what we've got. It's just flicked over. I've lost all the times there on my screen. Chris, you're going to take over.
That's all right. I've lost him as well.
Oh, here we go. I found him again. Adderton in P1. Britt second, Hind in third. Reese, Rose 4th and 5th. Kumar, Kosa in 6th and 7th. Webley and Comboy in 8th and 9th. And then, we just got him. Here's the chef. The chef is on track, and he has cooked up a storm to get himself into the top 10 shootout, albeit by a bee's whisker over the rest of the field. He was only the 100th of a second off being in 8th to 10th position there. Yeah. So that is super tight there between our 7th to 10th getters. That's going to be one to look out for.
Yeah, keep an eye on all these guys. I think, anyone in the top 10 is capable of putting it on pole, because when you get into that top 10 mindset, it's more about the mental state. You've only got just 2 laps of pressure to get it.
Yep.
To get it down and get that hot lap in the bank. The second lap really does take a little bit of pressure off, but I tell you what, it's not a lot. It all comes down to the mental state. Can you get it done? And I tell you what, who was off the front row there was Adderton. He's got a long time to wait now between drinks. He's going to have to go and do a bit of yoga, do a bit of meditation to keep the mental strength up, because I tell you what, I'd like to be in 10th position. I want to be the first guy out there on track while I'm still warm, while I'm still in that mindset. You know, I don't want to be sitting there getting cold.
No, you don't want to get cold, but then at the same time, different brains work differently. Sometimes it can just compute in your head. A little bit of time away from the sim rig for about 5 or 10 minutes just gives you time for your brain to relax, get back in the groove, and you learn subconsciously what happens there too. Now, speaking of the top 10 shootout, with these tyres and the physics of ACC, Chris, we well know that if you go out on cold tyres and abuse them to the point where they get a little bit too hot, or you ride a curb here, they will hurt you over the next lap. So it's going to be a matter of getting a perfectly smooth out lap done, warm those tyres up, and then go for the next lap that you have got for the last lap dash that you need to get yourself up and set the grid inside the top 10 for the race tomorrow, 12 hours. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want to bin it either, because within the rules there, if you bin it, you don't get another turn at the top 10 shooter. You don't get your second lap in. You can invalidate the lap, that's for sure, but you cannot bin it. If you put it in the wall, you can't come back to pits and get it repaired. So that's something to think about for the drivers. You might see a few little conservative laps out there to start with, and then putting the pedal to the metal on the second time around. Thank you to all the chat members tonight. It's hard to keep up with, but there's plenty of banter in there, and I'd like to reply to all of them if I had the time. But it's tough going out there.
It is tough going in the chat box, but don't worry, that's all okay, because I'll tell you what, when it comes to everyone having a good time on and off screen and in the chat and listening to us Delta Tones, and then also the cracking event that we've got on tonight and for the 12 hour tomorrow, it's all good. That's what we want to see. We want to see that at Sensational TV. Keep it G-rated, obviously. No abuse, please.
It's PG at
friendly
least.
banter. PG at least, that's fine. But it's going to be anything but G-rated here in the com box at some point tomorrow. I'll give you the hot tip. And it's awesome. Well done to Mr. Mallow in the chat. He's completed his assignment and thought it was impossible. Got it done. Thank you very much for Mr. Air Force Lightning himself, RAAF Lightning.
Yeah.
Driving a BMW is a handful here. Well, okay. Well, generally, the pure driving excellence slogan not living up to its name there for BMW.
Yeah.
Pure driving, shitting yourself, I reckon, by the time we end that. And everyone here for the top 10 shootouts, we all wish them luck here in the com box. And that's what session we have got up next, Christopher Munro.
Yeah, we do. We've got Mr. Taylor out there on track. Chris Taylor in the number 17 DJR inspired livery there on the Mustang. And I think I'm gonna get Zach O'Reilly to call the first cab off the rank as he rounds Murray's for his first time on the top 10 shootout.
Absolutely cracking looking Shell Mustang livery there. I love it. DJR-esque for the chef himself. He is cooking up a storm here. That is okay. That exit there looked pretty good. He's got the burners happening already here. Now he's got the oil on the pan. Now the pan is starting to heat up. That cast iron pan is getting ready. Will he put the beef on first or the chicken? We don't know. We'll find out here. Coming into Norwich corner. Up the hill we go here for the chef. He is cooking up a storm here at the moment as he climbs a mountain. Up into the third and the second gear ratio sector. We have got all balls to the wall here at the moment. The tongs are coming out at this point of time. Hammer and tong, they would say. Full throttle. Nearly touching the wall there just on the exit. Coming into the great section now. This is going to be exciting stuff. We can see here using every millimetre. That car is darting in left, right and centre is that Mustang. Using every bit of the curve, bit of oversteer on exit, over skyline, into the S's. Here we go. Brakes it 3 times in the one corner. Gets the car pointed. Settled nicely through the dipper there. That was excellent stuff. I've never seen anything smooth as that. The butter is now on the steak at this point in time. It's getting from rare to medium rare here as we come down here to McPhillamy. Out onto Mountain Straight we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Down the back straightaway here at Conrod. Used to be a full straight down to the end when's the bloody last corner. Anyway, now a kink here approaching 270 k's an hour. Turn the axe, cook it down. Just let that meat settle. Flip it over on the other side, chef. Point it in nicely there. Absolutely sensational driving here. Smooth as butter on the grill at the moment. And he's about to serve it up onto the plate. Gordon Ramsay's looking over his shoulder. Hopefully he doesn't get it's raw at this point in time, and he crosses the line, and that is a 1:59.990 for the chef. That is a cracking opening lap for him, Christopher Munro.
Yeah, that is fair dinkum in the fast lap department. He gets another go here because he's on a 2-lap shootout. So I guess we'll call each lap as it comes. So the chef, he's
got the salt and pepper on the steak.
The sauteing continues as he goes up the mountain for the second time. Ducks it into Griffin's Bend as he just considers how he's looking on his delta. If we can get some of that, he is bang on the delta as well. He's looking at staring down the batter. He's now 1/10 up, but he is up on his delta. He's looking at a 1:59.8. If he can keep it off the wall there at Quarry, and he does so very nicely indeed. Looking for a wider line as you can there through Silman Park. dips it into McPhillamy. Really smooth, using the curbing on the outside to prevent that wheels dipping into the grass. Down through the S's, looks out of control, which means he's going fast enough. Just throws it down the hill. That is really nicely done. Maybe even a left wheel off the ground through the dipper. Down into the braking zone of Forest Elbow. Looks really nice to me. That car is a cracking livery as well. The GT3 Mustang is an absolutely cracking looking vehicle. Whether it's OP or not, I'll let the chat decide and argue about that till the cows come home. But can he beat? Let's look at the Delta here. He's 2/10 up. He's on for a 1:59.7 at the moment. That's surely going to put him up a couple of places here in the top 10 shootout. Mr. Cook looking for his braking marker into the chase. Does that nicely. Gets on the power. He's 3/10 up. This is a 59.6 if he can keep it together here through Murray's. One turn to navigate before he puts a lap down. This is going to be an absolutely cracking lap for the 4/10 up. It's a 59.6. Take your hats off to the chef, the Seuss, and compliments to the kitchen. What an absolutely cracking lap there from Cook.
That's definitely worth a Michelin star or a Michelin hat as a chef himself there. Absolutely sensational driving there. That was bloody good there. Well done to the chef himself. And now, Mr. Conboy. I don't know if he's a con artist or if he's a con man, but that is okay. He is now in another Mustang. And this is going to be an absolute dick swinging contest here. And he's not going to do it with that sort of behaviour. That was sideways into the final corner here at Bathurst. Not the ideal way to start your first lap. That will get the nerves pumping. The adrenaline will be up here at the moment for the con man himself. And he's just navigated Hull Corner nicely. Just a little bit of oversteer. Pointed it in late there for the second corner coming our way here at Bathurst. Wowee. Drives it up the mountain straight. Here we go. What are we going to see? This time around, I'm not too sure. He's going to navigate that turn perfectly. Yes, he does. Gets it pointed in nicely. Straight into Quarry Bend. Out there he goes. Just a little bit sideways there and just using every millimetre coming into the cutting here. Now is the con man himself. Can he pull off a bag of tricks, pull out a $100 note and give the bloke a 50? We'll only find out because he is the con man himself. Up through Quarry Bend into the cutting now. He is not the Griffins Mount and Reed Park. I can't believe what I'm doing. Sulman Park coming up at this point in time, just using a little bit of a conservative line, not using all balls to the wall kind of action here at the moment, but definitely does it there onto the apex. Wowee, that was some good stuff through the dipper into the S's. S's into the dipper. I'm having a mare at the moment for commentary after that beautiful stuff I just did earlier. Gets it out wide. Forest Elbow coming now. Gets the car pointed. Hugs that inside right-hand line. Bentley sign. Just points the car and turns it wide. Nearly Dick Johnsoned it into the concrete barrier there at Forest Elbow. Down Conrad Straight we go. This is where it all counts. How much wing has he got on this car? Is it high downforce? Is it low downforce? Is it somewhere in between? I'm not sure for the convoy himself. We'll find out very, very soon. He is navigating his way. He has got the brake bias on at 48.5 here at the moment. Whacking his way. That rig is dancing all over the place. Settles a little bit nicely, just a bit wide, but kept the car straight there on exit under the Mick Liquimolly overpass. Down into the final corner here at Bathurst. What is he going to put up for his first hot lap out of two? We'll find out in just a hot second. That is a 2 minute 0.4.
Yeah, 2 minutes 0.4, but plenty of time to improve on that. He's got his second lap now. Sorry to those in the chat. I've been trying to get the delta up on the screen. Maybe a little bit more time in between the next one. If my co-commentator wants to do the next two laps for the next car, that would be great, and we can get some live delta action coming to everyone at home. But for the time being, Jamie Convoy Conboy, should I say, he's half a second up on his personal best, so he is now scraping into the 159s. He's still got about 3/10 to make up if he wants to leapfrog the chef there in the number 17. But I tell you what, these couple of Mustangs have both looked pretty good in the body language department around this absolutely challenging circuit here at Mount Panorama, using the outside curb, not as much as we saw the chef do in the previous time around, but down through the S's, down through the dipper, and again just chucks that front end in and it sticks, having a little bit of a trouble on the exit, a bit of a waggle there as well. That might have lost him a couple of tenths, and it has, but he might just be able to make them back through Forest Elbow, but he does not. So he's a couple of tenths down now on what he was previously, but still up in the overall standings of his previous lap, but it's not in the 159s anymore. He's still looking at a 2-minute dead. If he can, he's only got one sector to do it, so I'd say he really needs to pull out all stops if he's going to take over the first position here of Brad Cook up there in front. So yeah, I think this is all but over here. He's 6 tenths up, ladies and gentlemen, through the chase. This could be close, but he probably still needs to make up a couple more tenths on the exit there. He will improve, but not enough there. That is a 159.852, ladies and gentlemen. And just rams it into the wall. They're not happy at all with that lap, I think, Conboy.
No, that's okay. That's fine. He's done well. He's only 2 tenths off P2 at the moment. Can't complain about that at all. I would not be disappointed. And the next man out on track is Mr. Chan himself. Well, this is going to be exciting. He has completed his outlap and is now on his first flyer. Dips it straight in. The camera is just having an absolute nightmare of a time trying to catch up to him. He's going that quick. Another Mustang on track. 3 Mustangs to start this top 10 shootout double lap special here at the moment. Looking very, very racy here is Victor Chan at this moment. Making his way nicely up the mountain at this stage into Reed Park. Now we're coming into Sulman. Then we'll be approaching McPhillamy soon. McPhillamy's coming up now. Darts it in, just missing a little bit of the apex there, but that's okay. Brakes from 4th gear, slaps it down to 3rd, now into 2nd gear as well as you navigate Skyline into the S's. Now the dipper coming up there through. Just got to get that car dancing, and he does. Geez, that was commitment through there for the Chandan. And I reckon at this stage, 1st gear through Forest Elbow. Beautiful stuff, just navigating that nicely. He has got 1 traction control on at the moment. Wowee. And these Mustangs are running a very, 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 very rearward bias in comparison to the rest of them. So something is definitely amiss there in the grand scheme of things in the physics department. 285 kilometres an hour, maxed out in 5th gear as the Mustang navigates its way into the chase. Just pulls it up nicely there. Beautiful stuff. Uses all the curb. Nothing on the exit there on the liquid on this side we go. Now, braking into the Murray's corner. 2nd gear, sticks it in 2nd, keeps it in 2nd gear. Other drivers going into 1st, turning it in, pointing it, rotating it. And he's not far off there, getting on top of John Boy and the chef. 2 tenths off on his first try. Now we're going to have another go here into Hell Corner, up Mountain Straight. He is just breaking even here at the moment. His chairman, Webley, sorry, and looking very, very racy at this point in time. He's got another 5 and a bit kilometres to navigate up Mountain Straight. Into Quarry we come. Brakes at the 70-metre mark here. Wowee. Just slams those brakes on the GT3 cars. The downforce of these immense. Car behaviour looking very, very good here at the moment. 2nd gear navigation through the cutting. Up into Griffin's Mount we go. 7 thousandths of a second up at the moment. Now he's made it into 6/100ths of a second. So a bit of time made right there through that section there. Stormont Park coming our way. Over the grate. Into Phillip, here we go. He's right on the brink of just touching that wall there. That was incredible. Chris Munro having an absolute hard-on in the background there.
Oh, yeah.
Only a 10th up at the moment. 4th gear, that is commitment over Skyline. Dancing that car through, and he gained 2 tenths just by finding the slip angle, but he's overcooked it into the dipper and lost all that momentum there. Unfortunately, he's just got to do that once more time here into Forest Elbow, onto Conrad Straight, and he does that. Now he's 2 tenths up here at the moment, live on screen. Here we go for Mr. Webley, looking fantastic down the straight. He is on song, 2 tenths up at the moment. He could take pole here, Chris Munro, if he gets a wriggle on here through the chase. Down Conrad we go. 277, 278, 284, 285 here in the Mustang.
Wow.
Breaks at the 100 meter board, slaps it down into second. Beautiful stuff there. Now he's 2.5 tenths up on his best time. He is only 1,000th of a second here of taking pole here off the chef himself. What is Webley going to do? Can he navigate Murray's corner? Finally he does. He's 3 tenths up here. This is going to take pole position. Hopefully the timing tower's not rigged me. 59.597. Wowee, what a drive there from Webley.
Lovely stuff there, mate. That was cracking driving and cracking commentary as well. Let's see Ethan Cale now out there in the 555. Lamborghini, thank you very much. Is it a Lamborghini? Sorry, let me...
McLaren.
Jesus
Holy
Christ. All these supercars look the same to
Ferrari.
me. Thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. They're all these little mid-engine cars. But there we go. In the Fez, up the hill for the first time, Ethan Cale trying to better. What is the time here? A 1:59.5. Gee whiz. These guys are going quicker now in the top 10 shootout than they were in the qualifying stakes. So they've had an hour to set their best lap, but they're doing it with ease here in the top 10 shootout in the matter of 2 laps. So it's Koza. Sorry, the timing tower just taking a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, JTCR or JTRTR. JCRTR. Very hard to pronounce at this stage of the night. But Koza is in the car, ladies and gentlemen. Don't stress. He's getting it as close to the walls as he possibly can up through the pedal to the metal section across the top of the hill. Bless you, Zach O'Reilly. Down the hill into down into Skyline, looking pretty neat and tidy. Maybe just a bit of a banker lap here for Koza. It doesn't look like he's really throwing the balls to the wall just yet. I think that's going to come definitely on the second time around here at Bathurst. So down the hill, just trying to think about how he can improve over that lap that he has just done. So he's probably thinking maybe high 59 here to start with, just to keep yourself out of that bottom few rungs on the top 10 ladder, and then time to reset and power your way through the second lap where you can just give it your everything. But I'll tell you what, if you can get a bloody handy banker lap in, using a bit of the grass there as well, if you can get a bit of a handy banker lap in, that makes the second lap oh so much easier on the in the pressure stakes. So here he comes, turning around the corner here for the second lap of his sprint journey. Let's see where he can take this car. Let's see where I can find this Delta as well. While I'm commentating on a lap, this will be an absolute feat for the ages,
I'll keep
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
updated. I'll keep you updated.
Oh, there it is for the world to see. When it updates, it will be there, ladies and gentlemen. But he is coming up the mountain straight for the second time here in his top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen. Chucks it into Griffiths, maybe leaves a little bit of a meter there on the exit of the apex, but he keeps the momentum up indeed. We're going to get some lap timing here. Here's a 10th up on his Delta, as you can see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. How good is that? I'm impressed with myself, Zach O'Reilly, with this on the cuff, getting the Delta up, but it seems to have disappeared. Thank you very much, because that means he is down a 10th, or at least on the teetering edge.
Under a 10th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under a 10th.
But
now he's 2 tenths
up.
up.
To 2 tenths up. So this could be a 59.7, which is probably a bit under the average of the Mr. Koza. I think he can go quicker. At least what they're talking about is they're talking him up in the chat as well. He's 4 tenths up, and he's purple. That, you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. If he can hold up this pace for the rest of the lap, he will put himself up onto provisional pole in the Ferrari, not the Lamborghini, ladies and gentlemen. That was an absolute Barry Crocker there from my half. But there we go, down the world-famous Conrod Straight for the second time. Mr. Koza looking for his braking marker here through the kink. It's time to jump on the brakes, mate, for the chase. Gets it pulled up nicely. Oh, maybe a little bit wide on the entry there, but it's half a second there. Purple lap times here, ladies and gentlemen. All he's got to do is put it together here for the final turn of Murray's, and I think he's got it wrapped up here. 6. He's going even quicker, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 59.432 and provisional pole for Jamie Koza.
get absolutely stuffed, he said to everyone else. He just blitzed a 1:59.432, 6/10 of a second there, ladies and gentlemen, from his first attempt. Holy mackerel, I'm excited. That is incredible stuff. And I'll tell you what, the next guy, I'm not even trusting what the hell is coming up with the timing tower there with the name sort of thing. But this is a very, very good looking Ferrari. That's for sure. I get the car names right, Chris. Just don't worry about it. I'll worry about all that
You
stuff.
look after that, mate. Yep.
You just call the action there. But Mr. Slade himself is going for it. He is going for his first attempt here at Mount Panorama. We've seen a bit of a trend here that the Kmart livery is Greg Murphy style.
Murphy. Yeah.
And this could be the lap of the gods. We just don't know what's going to happen here for Mr. Harry Kumar, but we'll see what happens around here, because if that's anything to go by, can he replicate it here in a GT3 car? We'll only find out shortly once he completes one lap here. The trend, as I was going to say, is the first lap is 100% a bank up. They know where the limitations are, and then those tyres, you just look at that tyre delta on your screen, the indicator there, and you look at it and you go, oh, now we're up to temperature, and a bit of placebo comes up, and all that mental worry and doubt that you had on your first lap disappears, and it's all focused for the rest of the mountain here. And he's navigating it nicely here, is Kumar, having an absolute beautiful time. Mackay Diva style here, coming down the Conrod Straight, looking fantastic. I love the look of that car. That looks absolutely bloody awesome. Who would have thought a Kmart cheap L Paso sort of branding manufacturer style is on a $500,000 Ferrari. Who will ever know? I don't know who passed that up. Enzo would be absolutely rolling in his grave at the moment, but that's okay. Hopefully there might be some Tag Heuer sponsorship coming our way. But here comes Kumar. He's about to complete the first lap. What is his banker lap going to be? It will find out in just a second. It's 6/10 off the pace at the moment, a 2-minute dead basically. And now he's already started a half a tenth up on the lap as he navigates Hell Corner. He is now a tenth and a half up here for the first section of the mountain at the moment is Kumar. And we can see another car just warming their tyres up behind him, but no worry about him. Focus here, up mountain straight. Here for Kumar. How is he going to navigate it? He's still 1/10 up. Brakes at the 70-metre board again. Slides that car in. Dancing on the rear end. He's found a 10th. That is slip angle, ladies and gentlemen. We all talk about it, and you don't know what it is until you found it. And now you have got it there, Kumar. He's still dancing that car in. Just getting that apex perfectly. He's found a 10th again. 2/10 up now here for the first third of Mount Panorama. Wowee, what a drive. Up through Quarry now. Up through Griffin, into the Reed. Park we come. Now into Sulman, over the Great. Still a 10th and a bit up. Just hesitating. Almost hitting the wall there. Hugs the inside Pertex sign of the left-hander. Using all the curves here. What balls has he got over Skyline? He has got the same amount he just had the last lap. Nothing growing in size there because the delta hasn't come up. But into the dipper, he's found something there. He's got the head of steam hammering here is Kumar. He is about to explode here if he can get Forest Elbows right. Kumar, 2/10 up now. Just a bit quick on the entry, hampered him on exit, but he's still around that 2/10 of a mark coming up. Mountain Conrod Straight coming our way. 280 odd kilometres an hour as we approach the final braking marker under the Pirelli overhead sign. We go. Here's a 10th and a half up. Here is Kumar right now. Gets on the anchors now. Bang. Slaps it through the gear. Second gear. Just dancing it on the rear. Found another 10th and a half there. Through the chase, he did. It's 2/10 up here is Kumar. It's not going to be enough at this point in time to get himself any higher than 5th, but we'll see what he can do. Can he find some more time into the final corner? He does. He's found a 10th and a half. 3/10, 2.5 It's just disappeared. Whoa. And only by 7/100ths of a second did he miss out on knocking Pondman off the 4th position there. But what a drive there from Mr. Kumar. He's only going to get 10th at worst case scenario, Chris. Let's think about the positives.
Yeah, you've always got to stay positive here in sim racing because there's still half the top 10 shootout to go here in the final 5 drivers out there on track. Mia Rose is the next one out.
Here we go.
On track. Why has it done that? There we go. We're going to
Girl power.
Girl power with the cracking livery there, the leopard skin and the purple. Can't miss it. This is the first
full
lap,
porno style, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to get some funk music happening and maybe a bit of Barry White after this lap. But this is looking pretty tidy so far. It just needs a good banker, really, because the cars before her have gone a 59.9, a 59.8, 59.6. And we saw well capable of that in the qualifying session. So just keeping it off the wall, keeping the car nice and tidy, keeping the tyres warm, that's most important. Getting them up to temperature nicely. You don't want to overcook them in the first hot lap. Otherwise, they'll just be maybe a little bit spongy for the second one. You want to really use all your grip there over the aggregate of 2 laps. That's a funny one.
It's spongy.
Yeah, a little bit spongy. It's G-rated, absolutely. But she comes down the hill.
It's after 8:30.
For the first time. Oh, we could drop the P's and Q's here soon. We're coming down the hill there in the leopard skin lightning Lamborghini. Oh, and the alliteration to go with it. Here we go down into the braking zone of the chase for the first time. Mia Rose looking for about that, I don't know where you brake in these things, probably about the 100 board. Thank you to the ABS and all the driver aids and the GT3 machines. Feels like you're an absolute champion behind the wheel of these things. Turning in to Murray's for the first time and hopefully just getting a nice exit to start on the actual fast lap that's about to come. But look at that, 59.4 to start with. Only needs half a tenth to knock Mr. Koza off the top rung of the ladder, should I say. But let's keep a close eye on that delta. 1/10 up already into turn 1. That is blindingly quick. And if she could just put more and more tenths on this lap, certainly goes a long way. You know what?
Oh,
If she crosses the line faster than anyone else does, she probably put a foot forward to be going off pole position in this race. Oh, it's already that time of the evening with the absolute rubbish coming out of my mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, up through the cutting for the second time. Looking very nice on the timing tower indeed. 2/10 up, just dipping back down a little bit on the personal best. But purple nonetheless, really getting close and right up to the wall there at Sulman Park. It's a dangerous spot to be dicing with danger. Is anyone going to bin it in this top 10 shootout? We don't know. These guys have certainly done their homework. I don't want to commentate or curse anyone, but it has to be said, really close to the walls, leaving nothing out there on the table as well. 2/10 up, coming down into Forest Elbow. Now for the last time, really gets a nice exit too. That delta is coming down by the 10th. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, down into the world famous Conrod Straight. There we go. Yeah, I really said that, BZ. There's worse things that come out of my mouth. Don't you worry about that, especially when there's a microphone shoved in front of it. Into the chase now for the second time. 2/10 up. Mia Rose looking at a 59.2 here in the top 10 shootout for the ESO Bathurst. 12 hours starting tomorrow, 7 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. Set your watches. But here we go, just losing a little bit out of the chase, but it's enough, ladies and gentlemen. Mia Rose goes pole with a 59.3, just dips out of the twos, but that is a very tidy lap, if I do say so myself.
Suffering your jock, she'll be saying to all the boys out there, that is girl power at its best, Christopher Munro.
Yep.
And our guy who was about to start, I think it was just absolutely binned it here, trying to get their first lap underway. Now that is pressure point. Absolute pressure point now. I would dead set, if that was me, I would absolutely shitting myself right now, and just hoping that I can put in a solid banker lap, because those deltas right now that we will be seeing here from Maddie will be irrelevant, because this first lap is already Roo Ted. Wallaby Ted's cousin, Roo Ted, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that one for tomorrow. And it will be basically all up to that last final lap that we can see that will be coming in about 1 minute and 40 odd seconds time here for Matty. It's going to be incredible to see what we can do here and see what tricks we can pull out of the bag here. I might even call the magician for now, because if something like this happens and a pole position is absolutely on song, then this is definitely some of the best magic I've ever seen here. You've got no perspective, for your delta time. Everyone else managed to get their first lap in and on proper pace to see where they could put it. Now, this is pressure point motors. This is all mental games right now, knowing what the limits of the car are, because you don't really know. Those tyres are now probably 2 or 3 corners undercooked for your final lap of the session. So let's see what we can do here. That is a cracking looking Ferrari. It does sound pretty good, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. But Chris Munro is going to rethink his life and just do better. But it's okay here. That's all we want to do is be better here.
Well, we just lost Zach O'Reilly there in the comms. I think, yeah, we're having some microphone dramas there in the O'Reilly household. Once he gets that.
Hello.
Oh, he's back. Here we go.
Sorry, here we go.
You're right.
I knocked the USB cable out, ladies and gentlemen. That's how excited I was. We are 1.5 seconds, 1.6 seconds up already here for the first lap here of Stephen Rees, and the timing tower has completely stuffed me up again. In bloody credible. It is Mr. Rees on track. I'm watching on cockpit, and that's all I can see, ladies and gentlemen. 4th gear up mountain straight. 5th gear now. 240, 250 k's an hour just before the braking marker. Whacks it in there in 3rd gear, sticks it in, hugs that apex beautifully. The inside curb there on the right-hand side. Lovely sort of stuff. He's 2.46 off pole, and he's only 1.7 up on the personal best at this moment. He's going to have to find some time here to get him up the order a little bit at the moment. 1.7 seconds is a delta here at this moment. You can see it there on the timing tower. 1.76 to be exact at the moment as we cross the great section at the moment here. That is looking good at this point in time. McPhillamy is coming up. Can we navigate that beautifully? We do. We find another half a tenth there. It's all a matter of little increments here. And now we've found another 1/10 and a half through the S's. Now into the dipper. Wow, we're 2 seconds up here at the moment. We're only half a second off the best. This is going to be 5th place at best at the moment. Can we find another 2 or so tenths here, Mr. Rees? I think we can. We are 2.1 seconds up now, just under 2 seconds. A bit of a bad exit out of Forest Elbow down Conrod. Just that delta ever so decreasing, and that is disheartening when you see that. You know you've stuffed that exit up and you've got a kilometre of straight in front of you, just watching that delta come down. But 284 kilometres just at the braking marker now. Into 2nd gear, navigates the chase beautifully. He's found a 10th there. That's pretty good. 2.1 seconds up on his delta here. This is going to be very, very tight here at the top. Can he knock off 4th place? Can the chef hold on to 4th? I think Chef's going to get knocked off here, Chris. This is going to be a top 3 or a top 2.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Only top 5. Just knocked himself off at the last minute there, did Mr. Rees. And that is 5th place at best here for Stephen Rees, I think it is.
That was Stephen Rees, and yeah, tight as you can get there. Only 200s, I think, in the end, in the grand scheme of things. I'm just getting this sorted out because Jim Park has given me a stick in the chat that he couldn't see the delta. So, mate, here you go. Hopefully,
check your eyes, Jimbo.
yeah. You got
off, mate.
Yeah, you got the right prescription in, Jimbo. We'll, I guess, double check and get back to us here in the chat. But here we got Benjamin Hignett in the 772 Ford Mustang, and it's no surprise, to be fair, to see all these Ford Mustangs at the top of the timing tree here in the top 10 shootout. I'm going to keep banging on about this because it's good fun, ladies and gentlemen, to stir up the nest. But Valkyrie Motorsport is the team here. 772 Ford Mustang. Mr. Hine getting this car up into the, well, it is Hine behind the wheel, should I say. The timing tower just updating now to the actual driver behind the wheel. Very, very annoying there. It catches us by surprise. Of course he would be behind the wheel because he was the one that stuck it right up there fat in the closing stages of that qualifying session. So can he go better than what did he post in the qualifying? I think it was like a 59.2 or something absolutely ridiculous like that. So I think he'll be looking, well, he needs that to get on pole because Mia Rose is currently occupying the top rung with a 59.3. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's really going to have to get his boogie on and get down into the low 59s. Or can we see a 58? Adderton was the man who got just knocking on the door there in the qualifying session. So hopefully maybe the temps are a little bit lower and those tyres just hold on for a little bit longer. But Mr. Hind crosses the line. Connor, should I say, is his first name, for his second hot lap. The first one was a 59.7, so a bit of a banker lap there, very conservative by Hindy's standards, that from what we're so used to there in the 60 minutes of qualifying so far. But up the mountain he goes under the Audi Sport Motorsport sign. And he is just teetering on the edge of his delta as well, not making any inroads up there out of turn 1. But through Griffin's Bend, he does just extend his personal best by a tenth. I'm not really looking at it there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try and get that on your screen. There it is. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, well, we'll do without a delta. You get to hear it.
2.5 tenths up, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going. You guys can just figure it out by my excitement levels here in the commentary box. Hind just throwing it in through McPhillamy out the other side, down Skyline through the S's, out of control as usual. It's very nice feeling down there, feeling of weightlessness, if you will. Through down turns 13, 14, 15, 16 into into Forest Elbow. Geez, it's already happening, ladies and gentlemen. My words are escaping me. Too many buttons to push at the same time. But Connor Hind is up. He's up 3 tenths on his personal best. That puts him at about a 159.4, so he needs to improve a little bit more in this final sector if he wants to knock Mia Rose off her perch up there in the top position here of the top 10 shootout. How many times can I say top? I reckon I could do it a couple more times before we cross the line. Connor Hind out of the cutting, just lost a tenth too, so he's going to have to be maybe content with the second row start here. Ladies and gentlemen, turning the final corner, 3 tenths up, maybe a second row if he's lucky, third across the line with a 59.5.
Just a little bit of recovery needed there for Hindy. He was on the brink of not and just lost it at the chase there. That's what we didn't want to see, but he will be okay at the moment. Third place is not a bad place to start. As I hope to God this is Matthew Lamb on the screen at the moment, Christopher Munro. Because if it's not, we're going to look like a right bellends for our UK listeners. You know exactly what that means.
I reckon it'll be Britt, right?
I think it would be Britt. Yeah. Because he was the one who was in second place. So I think this is Mr. Britt. And I'm just going to stick by it and hope to God that it happens, because that is incredible. First sector name changes, says Mr. Motorbike himself. So thank you for the tip there in AC. Let's see, this is our first time on ACC, ladies and gentlemen. So forgive us for the first time blunders here in the commentary box, be it all minor blunders, because our commentary just makes up for the rest of it. Don't worry about that. And the entertainment levels here, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Britt, it's what?
No, don't let me stop you, mate. I'm just talking.
What did you say? Your entertainment?
Yeah, I'm entertained. I said I'm thoroughly enjoying.
Oh yes, so we've got Russell Crowe style in the Gladiator. Are you not entertained? That is exactly what is there. Dewey Park, you can ship off. You're not forgiven, he says to me, and that's it. You can literally just keep watching tomorrow, mate. Hopefully we'll see you on stream. We love you, mate. Don't you worry about that. But Brett is going down Conrod Straight at the moment. 267, 273, 275, 286 kilometres. No, Max is out at 286 kilometres. I was bang on the money there. Slaps it into second. 6 gears in the McLaren for Mr. Brett himself. Having a mare of a time there just at the end. We'll see what this happens, what this comes up for his first lap. What is he going to end up doing here? It's anyone known until he crosses the line. It is only 2.292 seconds off the best time. So, a bit of time to make up. We are going to find it here in the Delta. Don't you worry about the Delta screen on the stream at the moment. I will keep you informed. He is dead even here. No better exit than he possibly could have got out of Hell Corner. Up Mountain Straight we go here now for Mr. Brett himself. Looking into the Quarry Bend, braking just at the 65-metre board on the slip angle, uses every bit of momentum he can, gained half a tenth there in that corner just alone. Into the cutting we go. Navigates that fourth gear down into third and second gear. Down 10th up at the moment now. Uses that exit beautifully. 10th and a half here for Phil Britt at this point in time. I hope that's his first name. 1.3 is what he is up on my Delta screen. Up in through Reed Park, now into Silman Park. Now we're into McPhillamy and coming across through that Pertex great section that he needs to get onto. Sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second gear we go. Oh, on the slide there is Britt, and he's lost it completely. Oh, that was all his momentum gone. Fully sent it there into the wall. He's going to have to recover whatever time he possibly can. He is dead on the same time as Webley himself, and he's pulled out of the lap and said, that's enough, I'm done. He probably could have gone there, Chris. He was only 3/10 down at that point in time. I reckon that is enough for him at the moment. He's counted his chickens and then laid those eggs and said, all right, I'll put them in the fridge. And that's enough for fifth at this point in time. Good luck for everyone else who wants to knock me off at this point in time. And there's only one man on the circuit, and that is Mr. Adderton.
Well, a little bit of frustration there, I think, from Britt as well. Was looking good for, well, at least a front row start. And having that little moment down the hill. Certainly, I think maybe the red mist descended and he said, nah, fuck it, that's it. It is past. Yeah, there we go. The first one for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Adderton, thank you very much for allowing me to drop that one on stream. But, no, it wasn't. It was Britt. Sorry, jeez, I'm looking at Adderton. Here we go.
Look at Adderton.
Here he goes. This is the pole sitter here from qualifying. Can he improve on a 59.3 of Mia Rose to chuck that OP Mustang back there on the front row? He was 3/10 quicker in qualifying, so expect some lightning out here, ladies and gentlemen. Brady Adderton is one quick customer indeed. Chucks it into Griffin's Bend for the first time, hugging that inside line, getting it on the power as early as possible. Look at that view up the hill. Very nice indeed. That's a beautiful looking GT3 car, absolutely. PZ wants to see a shoey live on stream. I will certainly do one if we get a 158. So he's only got a little bit to improve on his qualifying time. So, ladies and gentlemen, depending on the air temps out there, I might have to.
Chris is just warming himself up there for a shoey. He's clearing the throat. He's got it all sorted.
What the viewers at home don't know is I regularly drink out of a shoe. My what do you call it? My coffee cup cupboard is just full of shoes, and so there you go. A little bit of
it's not even the coffee cupboard anymore. It's just the shoe cupboard.
It's just a shoe cupboard. Yeah, pop the kicks off, chuck them in the pantry, and chuck a tea bag in the morning. Legendary stuff.
Rumour has it that is what he uses as his secret ingredient for his spaghetti bolognese, ladies and gentlemen. Just put a shoe in there, let it ferment overnight, and just serve it up to his family, and just says, well, wow, what's in this? Well, that's my secret ingredient, Colonel Sanders style.
Yeah, the secret herbs and spices coming off the ends of my toes. But that's another story indeed. As Adderton rounds the final turn, he's going to make me drink out of my shoe. It's a 159.2 on his outlap, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm in big trouble. Don't you worry about that. Here he goes. Everyone's informing me now that he's done a 58 in practice. I'm sure someone's given him the hurry up. He goes on pole anyway, so he doesn't really need to improve, but he's going to do it anyway to flex his muscles and make me eat my words and literally eat my toe jam. So here he goes into Griffin's for the final time in the number 623. Brady Adderton, what a speedy customer indeed. Can he go quicker? He is. He's purple at the moment. Only just...
Munro shitting himself.
Yeah, I am, absolutely. I'm not in the mood for that one, but look, I'll do it for the people. Here we go. Just narrowly missing the wall, Brady Adderton. Maybe a little bit wide there through the end of the cutting, so that hopefully adds a little bit of lap time to the end result. He goes right close to the wall here through Silman Park. Very nicely done indeed. He's still just teetering on the edge of his delta. Needs to improve by 2.5 tenths, mind you. Can he do that in the... Oh, goodness me. There he goes, purple, ladies and gents. Yeah, the curse is on. He's the best driver in the world. There's nothing that's going to stop him now from getting a 58. He's 2 tenths up. I am dead set gone here, ladies and gentlemen. Down the Conrod Straight. Someone, is there a kangaroo to jump out on the track and just wedge himself under the front wheels? I don't know. Or a crackhead that you see around Bathurst as well, just looking for some change out there at the bottom of the Conrod. Get him out there to slow this fella down. Brady Addison down into the chase. He's still up on his personal best. Ladies and gentlemen, keep him. Oh, no, he's even gone faster. I'm dead set out of control, and I'm done here, ladies and gents. He's going to go a 58, I'm pretty sure, but he's just given up a little bit of the ghost there. He's got one more turn to improve, but he's not going to do it.
No.
I keep me shoes dry for now. It's a 1:59.1, and that is pole position for the ESO. Bathurst, 12 hours. That is beginning tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming.
Holy mother of rabbits. That was very, very tense in the commentary box. I could feel the tension just arising there from Sunray. He was dead shitting himself. I reckon he was as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs as he come over, did Mr. Brady Addison over Skyline into the dipper. He was 2.5 tenths up there, but still got the chockies for the final top 10 shootout, and that is where he will start tomorrow for the grid. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolutely sensational qualifying session we had, and then a top 10 shootout just to absolutely annoy us even more, and nearly some dead set shitting himself sort of behaviour there too. Brady Addison takes pole position with a 1:59.145 for the race tomorrow, and my timing tower has just absolutely shit the bed. And I cannot tell you for the rest of them what the timing says at the moment, because everyone's exiting the server. Boyos, we just need you to stay in the server for the broadcast. Thank you very much for next time. But that's your grid. We all saw it. That is what is happening tomorrow at 8 a.m. live here on Sensational TV tomorrow, 7 a.m. AEST. Or if you are in Perth, because you are absolutely way behind the ball there and everything's a bit slower over there, it will be a 5 a.m. start for the race for you lot. And anyone else overseas, I could not know what it is. Bali, I know, is 3 hours behind, so that will also be a 5 a.m. start for you. But what a qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. That was something to behold, Christopher. I enjoyed every single second of it, and I believe we have got some drivers here to talk to, our top 3 from the top 10 shootout starting tomorrow. Wowee, these guys are absolute aliens in ACC.
Yeah, absolutely. We are joined here by Mia Rose, the only one of the top 3 that has remembered to come into our little voice channel here. But I'll tell you what, Mia, you were sitting there on the front row for so long in that top 10 shootout. Were you watching with a keen eye there on the Delta with Brady at the end just really ripping it through and just, I guess, overtaking you there on his outlap, which is insane.
And come out with a 59.6, but no, he did a great job. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the race. I haven't seen him do anything longer than 20 minutes, so it'll be interesting come tomorrow. Yeah, the fighting words are coming out. It seems like I'm the only driver doing their media duties. So
yeah, absolutely. No, that's good to see. Yeah, so sorry. The word on the street is he's more of a sprint racer. Is that what you're saying, Mia?
Look, cannot confirm nor deny, but my suspicion would be, he's let's just say I haven't seen him do anything longer than 20 minutes. So come tomorrow, it'll be new territory for him, I think. But look, who knows? We'll see. He might do a 58 in the race. We don't know. But tomorrow is a new day. So
yeah, absolutely. 1:58 in a race means nothing when the race goes for 12 hours. But if you can do 12 hours worth of 1:58s, then good luck beating that. But I'll tell you what, you walk a fine line with pace and consistency, and you just want to keep it off the wall and out of trouble for 12 hours. Zach O'Reilly, have you got some questions? Zach O'Reilly is not making any noise, but Jamie Koza has joined us in the broadcast.
Have you got me?
I've got you there, but I don't think the competitors can hear you there.
Okay, you keep talking. I'll see if I
I
can fix
will.
this.
We've got Jamie Koza in the commentary box here. How did talk us through your top 10 shootout?
Yeah, not too bad. Managed to avoid the walls, and I guess that's most of the challenge, so pretty happy with that.
Certainly is. We're watching with a keen eye because a lot of the chat were talking you up. They were saying you're a weapon, and he's got this pole position all but done. So maybe a few disappointed faces in the chat there.
Now some quick times there.
Yeah.
I don't think I was touching close to a 58, but yeah, it looks like a few of the guys weren't able to quite put the lap together, so managed to gain a few positions.
Yeah,
am I back on?
Sounds like it, Zach O'Reilly.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have one question, Mr. Koza, yourself. Where have you found the talent? What has happened? Are you an ACC specialist yourself? Are you in there just fighting tooth and nail, or as Mia said before, are you an endurance specialist or a sprint race specialist?
I think we're a little bit confused.
Probably favour the endurers, particularly if someone else is starting the race. That's not typically my strongest point, but I can put together a lap when I need to, which is handy for these sorts of situations. And yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in the Ferrari, so I've driven it a fair bit. And yeah.
Are you on the same stage as the OP Mustang people, or are you a believer of everything's equal and that's about it?
I'm not sure, because I'm not driven the Mustang, so I can't really compare it in that sense, particularly with the BMP. But I'm hoping we might have a better race coming up.
Very nice.
We've
I have a
lost
question
him there.
for Mia there.
Yep.
Well, we just, you tailed her off at the end there, Jamie. I'm not sure what was going on. Anyway, Mia, where and how did you get into ACC? Is it a passion of yours? Are you an AC person yourself, starting from there, or what was your inspiration coming into ACC and just absolutely putting it up to every single person that you come up against?
Oh, that's yeah. I wouldn't say that, but no, I've come from first couple of years was on iRacing, and then saw the light of sim racing, and did some ACC, and then sort of went to R Factor 2 and came back here. So I'm probably here for the foreseeable future, and yeah, I do make a lot of men wary of what they're doing. So it's a nice talent of mine.
Wow, I'm very impressed. We said girl power on the stream there. So you've got our support in the com box, that's for sure, Christopher Munro. We're still missing our third place getter, but that's okay. It's been fantastic to talk to our drivers tomorrow. Are you, both of you, looking forward to having a chat as maybe a step into the stream tomorrow, as you are not racing? Do you mind if you want to come into the box and we'll ask you a couple of questions and see how it's all going for you? So what do you think?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be saying no to it if I'm out the car. So
Yeah, happy to.
Excellent.
Bit quiet there, Joe. I think Jamie said yes, Chris. I'm
Yeah.
not too sure.
I think I did hear a positive response there from Jamie. So, good luck, drivers, in the big dance tomorrow. We'll be watching on with a keen eye here in the commentary box, as will everyone at home. And I think it's about time we wrap it up here on a Saturday night here for Simsational TV. Thank you, everyone at home, for joining in to the stream. It's been a cracking load of success, and we're under the pump a little bit with technical issues during the week, myself and Zach O'Reilly, right up until the start of this stream. So absolutely cracking stuff. And BZ informs us we've just ticked over 600 subs. So congratulations to me and my co-commentator for that. That happened really quickly. So thank you all for the support. And yeah, absolutely. Before we go,
risky as well. Risky racing. Thank you. $15 donation to
what a legend.
Maybe a shoey for our 600 subs. Well, I think
I'll
we'll
get
do
you
that
one
tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll be on that tomorrow. Don't you worry. We'll come back live and you will be able to see both of us have a good go at a shoey for sure. Thank you, as Chris Munro said, for everyone who joined in tonight to the stream. I hope you enjoyed it, but there's 12 hours more of it to come tomorrow.
Goodness me.
Wow, we are absolutely dead set, ready to go. Don't you worry about that. And I think with that, we're going to sign off. Chris Munro, I'll do the honours. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Chris Munro has always been himself. I am Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You aren't. But as always here at Simsational TV, it is good night from us. We'll see you in under 12 hours' time. How ironic is that? Under 12 hours' time for another episode of Simsational TV. But for now, have a great night, and as always, keep it flat out.
Keep it what? You just you absolutely destroyed your mic there.
Flat out.
Yeah.
Keep it flat out.
Keep it flat
boyos
out.
and girlos.
Let's go.